You're my best friend.
This is Sid and Friends in the morning.
From my friends.
77 WABC.
Before we start this show, let me make it very, very clear. If you love me, Sid Rosenberg, and you love Sid and Friends in the morning, if you're with her, you are not with me.
Kamala, you're fired. Get out of here. Go.
An attack in the Middle East unlike anything we've ever seen before. Hundreds of wireless pagers exploded at the same time around 3:30 p.m. local time. That was across Lebanon and Syria, targeting members of Hezbollah, the Iranian-backed militia group. At least 9 are dead, with thousands more injured, many critically, after the devices blew up in their hands, pockets, wherever they were stored. Now, Hezbollah increased their use of pagers after the October 7th attacks to prevent communications from being breached by Israeli intelligence. But this attack is sure to escalate tensions in a region where Israel for nearly a year has been fighting its Iranian-backed enemies in both Lebanon and the Palestinian Gaza Strip. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer reports on how the attack was carried out and the far-reaching implications.
The pages exploded wherever Hezbollah fighters happened to be, in the street, at store checkouts, behind the wheel. In this bedroom, one blew a hole in the desk. Ambulances rushed the injured to hospitals. And emergency rooms filled with those injured by the tiny blasts powerful enough to shred faces and limbs. One high-profile casualty was Iran's ambassador to Lebanon, who was slightly hurt. It took no time for Hezbollah's TV station to pin the blame. We hold the Israeli enemy responsible, he says, for this criminal aggression. Hezbollah's leader, Hassan Nasrallah, had told his men months ago to get rid of their smartphones to foil Israeli tracking. But the low-tech pager alternative has proved deeply embarrassing. Seema Shine is ex-head of research at Mossad, Israel's foreign intelligence agency.
So what's the psychological effect of this? What are the Hezbollah commanders thinking tonight?
That they are not safe anywhere, and this is something very difficult. They are not safe anywhere. Their communication is not safe.
Are they going to feel obliged to respond?
I think they will retaliate, yeah, no question.
Israel and Hezbollah have been trading fire across the border with Lebanon for months. We may just have seen the opening salvo in a much bigger war.
And Liz Palmer joins us now from Tel Aviv. And Liz, I know Israel isn't responding, but what are you hearing on the ground?
Well, everybody's wondering how those little pages were booby-trapped and, of course, how they were detonated. Those are things we probably won't get answers to for some time. But Seema Shine told me that this was such a sophisticated piece of sabotage. The saboteurs got right inside Hezbollah's equipment supply lines. And so she says it has to have been the work of a state.
One of the things that we have done that I am entirely supportive of is the pause that we've put on the 2,000-pound bombs. And so there is some leverage that we have had and used. And we have to agree that not only must we end this war, but we have to have a goal of a two-state solution.
Oh my God.
Because there must be stability and peace in that region.
Hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs will remain behind bars until his trial on sex trafficking and racketeering charges, the judge denying bail after prosecutors argued he's a flight risk who could potentially intimidate witnesses. CBS's Jerika Duncan was in the courtroom just feet away from Diddy. And Jerika, what did you see?
That's right. You know what, Nora? I was right in the front row, about 12 feet away from where Combs was sitting. And throughout, I noticed he really kept his focus on the judge at times, looking at his attorney. But it was that moment when the judge said that bail was denied that he turned around and looked at his 3 sons who were in that courtroom and softly patted his chest. 54-year-old Sean Diddy Combs was led away in handcuffs after being denied bail. His attorney blasted the decision.
He's a fighter and he's going to fight this.
Combs was charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, and interstate transportation for prostitution following a months-long Homeland Security investigation.
Between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires.
Prosecutors allege that Combs used his business empire to force women to engage in sexual acts with professional sex workers at events he called freak-offs. It was there that prosecutors say Combs was violent toward the women, alleging he would hit, kicked, threw objects at, and at times dragged victims by their hair.
The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB.
The charges come after Homeland Security raided Combs' homes in L.A. and Miami last March. Agents say they seized 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers, ammunition, narcotics, and recordings of some of the sex acts, which prosecutors say he used to manipulate his victims. Last November, Combs' former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, filed a lawsuit alleging Combs raped, physically abused, and sex trafficked her during their 10-year relationship. Combs reached a settlement in that case, denying any wrongdoing. But 6 months later, video surfaced from 2016 showing Combs hitting, kicking, and dragging Ventura by the hair.
When you are looking at a racketeering charge, which carries life in prison, when you're looking at sex trafficking charges, this is someone who really may never see the light of day.
When arguing bail denial, prosecutors pointed to Jeffrey Epstein and R. Kelly, but Combs' attorney quickly shot back and said you can't compare those cases, Nora, because they involve children who could not consent.
Stop it.
Donald Trump is back on the campaign trail for the first time since that second apparent assassination attempt. The former president and his running mate have been blaming heated political rhetoric. But Vice President Kamala Harris reached out to Trump in a gesture of campaign civility. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns reports from a Trump event in Michigan.
Just about 48 hours since the second apparent attempt on his life, Donald Trump's supporters in Flint lined up for his return to the stage.
It's a dangerous business, however, being president. Only consequential presidents get shot at.
Running mate J.D. Vance, already here in Michigan, sounded off on Democrats.
Don't lecture Donald Trump about softening his rhetoric after 2 people tried to kill him. It's ridiculous. Tell Kamala Harris, tell Joe Biden, tell all of her surrogates who are saying things like Donald Trump needs to be eliminated. They need to cut that crap out or they're going to get somebody hurt.
Harris called the former president. A day after, he said Harris and President Biden's rhetoric is causing me to be shot at.
I checked on him to see if he was okay.
Yeah.
And I told him what I have said publicly. There's no place for political violence in our country.
In Philadelphia, Harris said Trump is stoking fear in Springfield, Ohio.
It's a crying shame.
With his false claims about Haitian migrants
it's not
there,
false.
Including that they are stealing and eating pets. Republican Governor Mike DeWine said the city has since faced at least 33 bomb threats.
When you have that kind of microphone in front of you, you really ought to understand at a very deep level how much your words have meaning.
Right, to stop lying.
In the battleground state of Michigan, Trump and Harris are neck and neck in the latest CBS News poll. Both campaigns are targeting union workers here in a state synonymous with the auto industry. The United Auto Workers Union endorsed Harris, but support from the Teamsters, which represents over 1 million members, is up for grabs.
This whole idea, if you like me, you're good, and if you don't, you're bad. I mean, I've been the victim of this. I don't hate the guy. I hate the people who vote for him. I think they're stupid. I do. I'll be honest with you. I have no respect for you.
So I guess for folks that are showing up, it starts at 5. The president is set to speak at 7. So I send Bruce a text yesterday. I go, hey, Bruce, I'm not in charge of this, but you should make sure I speak. So Bruce goes, I'm not controlling that. So then I text Laura Trump. I go, Laura, tell your father-in-law, don't be silly. You know, the politicians are great, don't get me wrong, but I got 1 million fans out there. Trump loves me. They're going to go nuts. Great idea. Let me text them. So just so you know, it's never going to happen. I know that, okay? For some reason, there's a stigma with radio guys. He loves a TV guy, Hannity, Laura Ingraham. But just so you know, I'm working behind the scenes to get up on stage tomorrow because I think I'll take the place down. But it's not going to happen, is it, Bruce?
Well, I don't know. Listen, President Trump has told me how much he likes you and how much he admires your show. So I know for a fact that he's a big fan. So I think it's possible. But I got to tell you, if I were making the decision, Sid Rosenberg, he'd be the keynote guy. That's who I'd have.
smile. You were lonely for a man. I said, take me as I am. 'Cause you might enjoy some madness for a while. Now think of all the years you tried to find someone to satisfy you. I might be as crazy as you say. If I'm crazy, then it's true that it's all because of you, and you wouldn't want me any other way. You may be right, I may be crazy, oh, but it just may be a lunatic you're looking for. It's too late to fight, it's too late to change.
You may be right. Glass houses. There's no way that my man, President Donald Trump, is going to be on Long Island, specifically at the Nassau Coliseum. And me and Lewis are not going to start the show with Billy Joel. There's no way. Lou and I were talking for a couple of minutes, and we went through a laundry list of Billy Joel songs. We threw out only The Good Die Young early after 2 assassination attempts. We went through...
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I said we're not playing that one. I thought about These Are the Times, because these are some times here. And we came close. I think you wanted to play The Ballad of Billy the Kid. I feel like you wanted to play that.
I did, but it didn't do enough for me.
You even said The Stranger at one point.
Yeah.
Great song. But anyway, we get you going with Billy Joel. It is Trump Day here on Sid and Friends in the morning. Danielle and I will make our way to, I think, Atlantic Beach. Going to meet up with, I'm not sure I'm supposed to say this on the air, but I'm going to say it anyway, with Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman, who's kind of running this whole shindig. And we are going to ride to the Coliseum in a motorcade. That's when you know you're a big deal, so that's me.
So is the motorcade going to come and pick you up?
No, we gotta meet.
Oh, you got to meet up.
A bunch of us. I don't know who else is going to be there. I imagine maybe Anthony D'Esposito. I don't even know. I don't know. Peter King, he'll be on today. I don't know. But we're going early, about 2:30 this afternoon. The thing kicks off at 5. I believe it's first come, first seat. Now, of course, we're going to be in the VIP Trump section. But other than that, I have no idea. I really have no idea what's going on with this. I really don't. You know, by the way, I only slept 3 hours last night because, Laura Trump just texted me. 6:17. Swear to God. 6:17 a.m., Laura Trump.
Now the information.
Yeah, because I only slept 3 hours last night because me, Danielle, Ava, and Gabe went to this beautiful event for the FIDF at Chelsea Piers. That stands for Friends of the IDF, the Israeli soldiers. And Lizzie and Ira Savetsky were there, and my friend Michael Rappaport, the great Michael Rappaport, was the host, did a great job. And there's some great pictures of me with Noah Argamani. And Noah, I know you remember Noah. She was one of the hostages that back in June, what they called Operation Ornan, where the really courageous Ornan Zamora was killed. His parents were there last night. They rescued 4 hostages, including Noah. Noah ended up sitting right behind me in a room of 1,200 folks. And that was great pictures. You got to go to my Instagram account, at rosenberg.sydney. That's Sydney with an I, at rosenberg.sydney, or Sid Rosenberg on Facebook. And you'll see pictures of me and Noah, me, Gabriel, and Michael Rappaport. It was a wonderful event. We got home at midnight, and Jean picked me and Ava up at 4 o'clock. Ava's here in the other studio right now. She's going to join me live on air coming up at 8:15. So I got no sleep. I'm doing this show. I'm running right home to Queens, hopping right in the car with Danielle, and heading out to meet Blakeman and the Long Island Mafia to see Donald Trump. And then I've got another event with Trump's former ambassador to Israel, David Friedman, and the One Israel Fund coming up tomorrow night. So, no, I'm a very, very busy and tired man.
You sound like you're a busy man.
But I don't sound tired. It's amazing. I wake up exhausted, and I've got all this energy today. You know why? Two things. There are two things. Today's the theme of the show. One is, of course, Trump. I'm going to see Trump later, and that's always very exciting. I love him. So, on one hand, I've got love. On the other hand, what's also keeping me fired up this morning is hate. For a person I used to love. For a person that for many, many years, including on this show, way back when with Bernard, not that long ago, I was quick to say was the best ever, but he's turned out to be such a backstabbing pussy, such a sellout, lowlife bastard, that at this point I've got nothing nice to say about Howard Stern. Now, my wife, Danielle, was a huge Stern fan. Huge. And you guys know I'm still friendly with Marianne from Brooklyn. She listens to Howard when he's on the air. But Thursday and Friday, when he's off, she listens to me. And Fred the Elephant Boy was on my show. So, I was on Howard Stern's show as a guest 4 times. I even hosted one of his Howard TV specials, Whack Pack Bowling, back in 2007. So I've got a little bit of history with Howard. And Gary Delabate was also a wussy. He was on my Miami show quite a bit. So Stern interviews Joe Biden, and Danielle cancels her Sirius XM subscription. That was it. She was done. Because Danielle, although she won't admit publicly that she loves Trump, she does, sort of. And so she got rid of Stern. And I was done with Stern even before that. But Stern comes out yesterday, Howard Stern, who was on record, by the way, saying that Donald Trump was his best guest. You've heard, Noam, Howard Stern say that often, yes?
Oh, yeah.
And I played audio on this show before Trump even married Melania, when Trump put Melania on the phone with Stern when he was still at K-Rock, right? And Stern's like hitting on her, doing the shtick, the same old shtick, But that's how playful Donald Trump was with the guy, And all he does is crap on him. So he says yesterday, well, it's not Trump, it's Trump supporters. Well, guess who's a Trump supporter? Me. Guess who else is a Trump supporter? About 99%, maybe 98%. I do have some Democrats that like me because I'm cute. I'm being honest. But about 98% of you love Trump. So when Donald Trump says it's not him, it's the supporters, he's talking to all of you. Now, I know most of you hate his guts already. But just in case you needed one more example of why Howard Stern is such an asshole, you got it yesterday. Now you got it. Now you don't need anything else. If you're excited about Trump being in town today, he basically wants you to die. One more time, Lewis. Howard Stern, cut number 17.
This whole idea, if you like me, you're good, and if you don't, you're bad. I mean, I've been the victim of this. I don't hate the guy. I hate the people who vote for him. I think they're stupid.
Oh, yeah?
I do. I'll be honest with you. I have no respect for you.
Oh, really? Well, I have no respect for you, okay? So if you go to my Instagram account again right now, at rosenberg.sidney, S-I-D-N-E-Y, or Sid Rosenberg on Facebook, I did do a minute video. It is so curse-laden. I mean, if you took all the F words from the first year of The Sopranos, I fit it in to this 1 minute video talking about Stern because I'm so angry. If you want to call out Trump, that's backstabbing, but it's fun. What do you mean you don't respect me? So look, Stern doesn't care. He's making $1 billion. Sitting there at Sirius XM. I don't even know if he goes in. I know he stopped leaving his house. He's such a moron. He's a moron. He doesn't know anything. He waits for people like George Stephanopoulos to call him and tell him what to do. I don't think he left his house for years during COVID, this idiot. Is he even back in the studios?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's still in his house. So this and he's calling us stupid, right? I mean, I've heard him and Robin talk about politics. And I liked Robin years ago. She's a moron, too. These are two of the dumbest. He doesn't care, though. So, you think he's going to really... That's Sid Rosenberg on WABC. He's been a guest on his show. He knows who I am. I hosted his TV show. We've had nice conversations. He once said to me, and I've got the audio, I'm not going to play it today. We played it 1,000,000 times. Hey, Sid, clearly you've got the gift of gab, but maybe you want to reel it in just a little bit. Coming from Stern. I said, I want to fight him. I mean, you folks remember Fear at the Pier with my late, great partner, Bernard McGurk. And to Bernie's credit, this goes back October, I believe, is going to be 21 years since that epic battle that Bob Gelb named Fear at the Pier. And Bernard, you folks may not know this, but he actually had boxing training, golden gloves, all of that. I had nothing. So, we talked it up. We had a great time with Imus. And then he punched me in the face at 8:15 in the morning. Let me tell you something. Things changed at that point. This is not being at the underground nightclub with 6 shots of Jägermeister all whacked out. This is sober, 8:15 in the morning, 250 people there at Chelsea Piers on television on MSNBC, and he punches me across the face, and Teddy Atlas is going, just survive. He was my trainer that day, the great Teddy Atlas, Hall of Famer.
So you got a plan now? Where's your plan? I hit you right in the snooze. That's it. Everybody's got a plan.
Yeah, till you get punched in the face.
Punched.
Yeah.
Where's your plan now, you stupid idiot?
But it was never the host. It was like Imus had Bernie and Sid. And before Bernie and Sid, Stern had Crazy Cabby and Stuttering John. I mean, that was the first actual boxing match, John and Cabby. Well, I am issuing a challenge. This may not even get to him. I'm hoping I've got one listener, one who also listens to Stern, who somehow can contact this long-haired pussy and tell him that Sid Rosenberg, he knows who I am, and I'm an old guy, too. I'm an old Jewish guy. Come on, give me a break. I got 2 kids. I can barely move my left arm. I got so much shoulder problem. I want to fight him. I want to fight on behalf of every Trump supporter. Every Trump supporter, as Trump is here in New York. He called us all out. He has no respect for us. None. Hates us. So on behalf of all of you, I want to fight Howard. He'll never do it. He'll never, ever do it. This won't even get back to him. But I hope it does.
I'll get the tape to him. I know people over there.
I know Gary, too, but these guys, they act like it doesn't mean... when Bill O'Reilly comes on the show, for some reason, Stern always plays back me and O'Reilly. He's got a long feud with Bill O'Reilly. But this one, I mean it. This is where he has gone way over the line. This is not me doing this old... Look, it's been around for 100 years. The radio guys fighting radio guys. It's all a shtick, This is serious. I'm not kidding. I'm really not kidding. You don't call out a whole bunch of millions of 70 million Americans, Stern, 70 million, and I love private parts, don't get me wrong. 70 million Americans voted for Donald Trump. You may disagree, that's fine, because guess what? You're the stupid one, but that's okay. You're allowed to disagree. But when you start saying, I hate his supporters, I have no respect for you, now you got to fight me. Now we got to fight. All right? Put your hair up in a ponytail or wear something to cover up that nasty head of yours. And let's do this, bitch.
Could you imagine watching the two of you in a ring? Him, like, with all that hair, and you coming at him like a lunatic bull.
I want to kill him. I swear to God I do. I mean, killers are strong. Obviously, I don't want to kill him, but... things happen. I remember Dooku Kim and Ray Mancini. That was unfortunate. But, yeah. I'm issuing the challenge. So what are you going to do about it, Noam?
I'll give it to him, but it's kind of like you're taking on a senior citizen. The guy's like over 70 years old.
Hold on a second. What am I, 30?
No, but
I'm
going
to be 60.
Are you? Well, okay.
Well, I'm going to be 50. I'm going to
I
be.
think he's 70.
I'm going to be 58. I mean,
soon.
Sort of like Jake Paul taking on Mike Tyson.
No, it's not even. Isn't Jake Paul like 20 years younger?
I think he's like 30.
I mean, once you get over 50 years old, it's all, what's the difference? So I'm going to be 60 in a couple of years. He's going to be 70. What's the difference? I've been to rehab twice, jail twice. I mean, I look great. You look at my video today, I got muscles coming out everywhere. But the truth is, I'm slow, I'm injured, I'm tired, and I'm not a very good fighter. So who cares? But I am doing this for Trump. And for all these supporters, right now, you're on the Belt Parkway. Maybe you're sitting in the parking lot right now at Nassau Coliseum. They've been out there for days. Days. Maybe you're sitting there right now. And I'm doing this for you. You cannot talk about millions and millions and millions of people like that. You just can't do it. So now you've got the tape, Noam. And if he doesn't get this tape, and you know I'm serious, I've done this before. Juliet Huddy. You're fired.
Right, okay.
Let me quote my friend Trump. You're fired.
He'll definitely get the tape whether they play it or not. I don't know.
Someone's going to tell them, of course.
I mean, this is still the number one show. And again, you know, he's such a little baby. He doesn't want to give those credit. He'd never say, oh, that guy Sid's doing pretty good numbers at WABC. Now he wants to fight me. Give me a break. He wouldn't even do that. He'll just ignore it, you know. Because I'm not Joe Rogan or one of these other people I guess he respects. I don't even know who Howard Stern respects anymore. I don't know. I don't care. But it's out there. I want to fight Howard Stern. I mean this sincerely. This is not radio shtick. I want to fight him. I want to punch him across his face. Well, how about that? And it's not even 6:30 in the morning. I gotta lay off the drugs. Gotta lay off the drugs.
Someone find some drug right now for you. I mean, holy mackerel.
Right. I'm pissed. I am really pissed. But it ain't gonna ruin my day.
No, it doesn't look like it.
You know, my dear friend from JNS.org, who I spent Shabbos dinner with in Israel back in February, and I'm going to do the same coming up in a couple of weeks in early October. Alex Traiman, he's on this show all the time. He's here in New York. He'll be live in studio in about 15 minutes. Curtis Sliwa, Rich Lowry, Peter King, Scott LoBaido. Now, LoBaido is not in studio this morning because he's doing what he did in Wildwood, New Jersey. He's actually going to fast paint on stage at the Nassau Coliseum. He calls it speed painting. And the big star today coming up live in studio, 8:15 this morning. My daughter, so proud of her, Ava Rosenberg. Some more Billy Joel. Let's do this, Stern. Let's go, you big pussy.
From a town known as Wheeling, West Virginia, rode a boy with a 6-gun in his hand. And his daring life for crime made him a legend in his time, east and west of the Rio Grande. Well, he started with a bank in Colorado. In the pocket of his vest, a Colt he hid. And his age and his size took the teller by surprise, and the word spread of Billy the Kid. Well, he never traveled heavy, 'cause he always rode alone, and he soon put many other guns to shame. And he never had a sweetheart, and he never had a home, but the cowboy and the rancher knew his name. Well, he robbed his way from Utah to Oklahoma, and the law just could not seem to track him down. And it served his legend well, all the folks they loved to tell about when Billy the Kid came to town.
It is great.
Larry Kudlow here with an urgent warning. Washington is coming for your savings to pay for their spending mistakes. That's why thousands of Americans are shielding their savings with gold. For a free 2024 gold guide that explains everything you need to know, please go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/Kudlow or just call 800-621-3908. That's 800-621-3908 for your free gold guide and learn if you qualify for up to $7,500 in free silver now.
Advanced Radiation Centers of New York emphasizes the importance of prostate cancer screening and encourages everyone to schedule their PSA test. Early detection is crucial for survival. ARC is at the forefront with advanced radiation technologies to cure prostate cancer. ARC is the first in the U.S. to perform the BioProtect balloon spacer, which minimizes damage to healthy tissue. Get tested today. For more info, visit advancedradiationcenters.com, or you can call them 866-955-4ARC. That's 866-955-4ARC.
This is Sid and Friends in the morning. 77 WABC.
So my phone is blowing up. No, I'm laden of love. All these people want me to fight Howard Stern. I am dead serious. He won't do it. But he should. If he's going to talk like that, if he's going to call out, this is not him calling out, some disc jockey in Philadelphia, What's that guy's name? He used to always call him out. Or calling out Man Cow or Imus. Or me. I'm not even sure he respects me enough to do that. And he's calling out 70 million proud great Americans, many of which I'll be with today at Nassau Coliseum. So I'm doing this for you guys, It's like Trump. He's taking these bullets for you. He's just in the way.
He genuinely did not like Imus. I remember that. He definitely
hated his guts.
Didn't like
Imus
him.
Didn't care. Like Imus didn't like him either.
Right.
But Imus played it off well. Imus was like the Yankees, and Stern was like the Red Sox. Like, Imus treated Stern like he was his little bitch, to be honest. Even though Stern was making a lot more money in the end and had a lot more listeners, Imus, when he got to NBC, was the king. Stern was nothing. And Imus never really changed the way he treated Stern. And I was there with you guys in studio when Stern called in that day after Bernard did that bit.
Oh, yeah.
Calling Stern's wife a horseface,
right.
Beth. And I was in studio when Stern actually called in.
Yes. That was a little manipulation getting them both, getting him to the phone.
It was tough.
Yeah, it was weird.
Well, I think Gary actually called first Delabate, and then he put Stern on. But nevertheless, Imus is dead, and Imus wouldn't be defending Trump today either, let me tell you. I mean, he may because he hated Stern. He may be like, oh, Stern, big talker, I'll kick your ass. Meantime, Imus couldn't walk into the bathroom. But he had a gun. But he had a gun.
Without oxygen.
I think when his lung went down, Stern played Happy Days Are Here Again. Or something.
Oh, no, listen, I actually listened. I listened to Stern when Imus died. And it was a huge celebration.
Yeah.
The only person I think was happier when Imus died than Stern was Bernie.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I become kind of a sappy little baby here. Since he died, I find myself almost missing him and appreciating him. He was a horrible person. Don't listen to anybody. I know all the money he raised, blah, blah, blah. He was a horrible person. When I went back to rehab, it was all because of Don. All because of Don. He was a bad guy. He was just not a nice person. I don't care how much money he raised for kids with cancer and Joel Hollander and David Jurist. He was a bad guy. Bad guy. But over the years, I've softened. Bernie never did. No. The day Bernie died, he still hated Imus's guts.
He was stewing for years, like, I'm going to settle scores when I get this show.
Listen,
he was really
we all know the story.
crazed.
If not for Bo Dietl, my man Bo Dietl, and the late, great Roger Ailes, Imus was going to fire Bernie after Rutgers. And me, too. It didn't matter. I wasn't working for Imus full-time anyway. I was in Miami. But he wasn't bringing anybody back. Anybody. And then I guess he came to the realization, I'm not that good. See, that was the thing about Imus. I try to explain it to Leslie Slender. He was a great host, but he couldn't carry anything. He had to have Charles and Rob and Sid and Bernie and Larry and a cast of thousands. Left Imus to his own device by himself. He was brutal. You know? I don't have nearly the amount of people Don did on his show. I get better ratings, still better. But he had to have 90 people around him, or else he couldn't do it.
Plus the guests.
Right, plus the guests, exactly. So, if you listen to me and Stern, find a way to get a message to Howard that he, we all hate him now. 70 million Americans hate Howard Stern. So, if you're looking to go to this event later on today, it ain't going to be easy. A lot of you folks I know are in the parking lot right now. But I did have Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman on the show yesterday, and I'm going with him today in a motorcade. It's very exciting. But here's Bruce from his press conference 2 days ago, talking about all the security that's going to be there today. This, Lewis, is cut number 12, Bruce Blakeman.
We will have aviation up in the air. Our mounted units will be on site. Community affairs, our pop cops, the detective division, our K-9 unit, emergency services unit, highway patrol.
Then he goes on to tell you folks why you probably, unless you're going there today, shouldn't be anywhere near there. This is Bruce Blakeman, cut number 11.
There will be traffic congestion because of the rally. We are advising you, if you don't have business in that area, to stay away because, again, the traffic will be incredibly heavy in that area.
I do love what the police commissioner, Pat Ryder, who's a great police commissioner. No disrespect to my friend Eddie Caban, who I still really like. He was forced to resign last week, but I still like Eddie. If Pat Ryder was a New York police commissioner, he would tell Adams to stick it up his ass. But he's not. So Nassau County is safe. But I love what he said. Today, Nassau County will be the safest place in the world. And I think he's right.
This is Sid on Sports. Sponsored by Peerless Boilers on 77 WABC.
Justin Ellick here with your bottom of the hour sports update, sponsored by Pete Morgan of Peerless Boilers. Go to peerlessboilers.com, paviliontankless.com. Find a dealer near you. They are the world's best built. A boiler start here on the Diamond out in Queens, where Pete Alonso homered, drove in 5 runs. Luis Angel Acuna added his first Major League long ball to cap a huge night at the plate, and the Mets routed the Nationals 10-1 to boost their chances in a close National League playoff race. Tyler Miguel provided another terrific outing in place of injured starter Paul Blackburn, and Francisco Alvarez also went deep as the Mets improved to 10-2 against Washington this year. They're tied with Arizona for the second of three NL wildcard spots, 2 games ahead of rival Atlanta for the league's last postseason berth with 11 contests to play. Jose Iglesias had 3 of New York's 14 hits and scored twice, batting leadoff with Lindor sidelined with that sore back. The 22-year-old Acuna, subbing for the MVP contender at shortstop, finished a triple shy of the cycle, scored 3 times from the number 9 spot in his 4th big league game and second start. Acuna knocked in New York's first run with a double for his first career extra base hit. He connected for a solo homer in the 8th, finished with his first 2 RBI. Alonso also was a triple short of the cycle. He blew a 2-run single off shaky starter Mitchell Parker with the bases loaded in a 4-run 3rd inning, then launched a 3-run homer in the 6th. From the trainer's room, an update on Francisco Lindor here. He is feeling better, manager Carlos Mendoza said. So Lindor still hopes to return at some point this week, and that's good news. Up next for the Mets, the lefty Jose Quintana makes his 30th start of the year in tonight's series finale, where the Mets will go for the series sweep. First pitch from Queens is scheduled for 7:10 p.m. As for the Yankees in Seattle, Aaron Judge drove in 4 runs in his first 2 at-bats. Juan Soto hit his 40th homer of the season and 200th of his career, and the Yanks moved to the cusp of clinching a playoff berth with an 11-2 rout of the Mariners. The win in last night's opener of their 6-game road trip pushed the Yankees' lead in the AL East to 4 games over Baltimore, their largest lead since holding a 4.5-game lead when they started play on June 7th. Judge laced a 2-run double 3 batters into the game and added a 2-out 2-run single the next time he was up an inning later. He now has a league-leading 136 RBI. New York again can clinch at worst a wild card spot in the American League with a victory over Seattle tonight. The lefty Nestor Cortez will get the start for a 9:40 p.m. first pitch from Seattle. Sports sponsored by Pete Morgan and Peerless Boilers. Go to peerlessboilers.com, paviliontankless.com. Find a dealer near you. They're the world's best built boilers. I'm Justin Ellick on 77 WABC.
Entertaining and informative.
This is Sid and Friends in the Morning.
77 WABC.
On today's program, one, of course, President Trump in town, and I will be there tonight. With the Long Island motorcade, big deal, to see Trump at the Nassau Coliseum. And then Howard Stern, who I called out already this morning. I'm going to call him out every segment. I hope it gets to him. It may or may not. It may, and he may not do anything about it. I don't know. He thinks he's the greatest thing ever. He actually was for a long time, but to call out 70 million Americans, people who love me and people who love Trump, our supporters, is where Stern now has me at the point where I want to punch him across the face. Somebody please tell Howard Stern that Sid Rosenberg wants to punch you across the face. So last night, as I told you about 40 minutes ago, the Rosenbergs, thanks to Lara Trump, her next-door neighbor Elise, true story, we went to this FIDF event at Chelsea Piers, and I heard a lot of things about the FIDF afterwards I didn't know I don't like. But for those few hours in the building, Piers 60, it was lovely. I met Noah Argamani, one of our courageous hostages, and her father. I actually met the soldiers, part of that Operation Ornan that saved her life, along with 3 other hostages. Michael Rappaport did a great job of hosting. They raised millions of dollars. Where that money goes, that's the other issue. I don't know. But it was a great night. Alex Traiman is smiling because he knows, I guess, more about this than I do. I had no idea. Ira Savetsky told me this. But I'm happy because I was just looking at the weather, talking about Israel, and it's going to be in the 60s this weekend. So I can't keep this magnificent tan that I've got anymore. Even tanning salon won't do it. But I'm going to Israel in a couple of weeks, and you told me, Alex, that the weather is like 100 degrees there, and the beaches are not far from where we're going to do the show. And I told the guys at One Israel Fund, I need some free time. You cannot have me doing tours every 6 seconds. I've done them all already, okay? I love Eve Harrow. I love all these people, Provisor, all of them. I can't do tours all day, every day. I got to go to the gym. I go to the beach. So it's still nice there, yes?
Still very nice, but you haven't seen all the tours yet. There's so much to see.
I know, but I can't do it, man. It's like, you know, I'm doing a 4-hour radio show, and then I have dinner. It's nighttime by the time we're off there. It's like 5 o'clock at night. And, you know, you got people in the lobby of the hotel at 7 o'clock in the morning. Becomes a long day, you know?
It's a long day.
Long day. So they've already got, it's a brutal schedule for me, because Monday we're doing the show just outside of Gaza, right there. And Wednesday we're doing the show from the north. Tuesday and Thursday from your beautiful studios. So by the time Shabbos comes on Friday and Yom Kippur on Saturday, I'm ready to drop. It's a big week, though, isn't it? Huge.
It's going to be a big week, and it's a great time to come. The holidays is a very special time in Israel. Everybody feels it.
It is, but with October 7th, me being there on that Monday, again, doing the show just outside of Gaza, I was still listening to a captain, I forget exactly his title in the Army, but he did a video show last night, and they showed the faces of over 700 Israeli soldiers who were killed. And a lot of them are like, I was shocked, I'm sorry, not that they matter more, but beautiful young girls like her. And they weren't even fighting. They were just, working that day or living at the kibbutz, and they were murdered, And he said it's going to be a very, very tough day that day. So even before we get to, yes, Yom Kippur and the holidays and all that good stuff, that Monday, I would imagine, is going to be brutal.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenging time. We'll have to see how the Israeli population responds to that. But, there's so much resilience in Israel, and that's the real thing. I don't think you're going to see a society broken down on October 7th. You're going to see a society with a purpose, a society that recognizes what it needs to do, a determination to win and to overcome. Israelis, they clean up the mess really fast, and they get on with it, and they do what they got to do.
Alex Traiman, the CEO of JNS.org. So my daughter Ava's here. She's in a different room. She'll be in this studio at 8:15. You know her story, how she was doxxed. And so she sat yesterday at this event next to Rachel Goldberg's first cousin, young girl like her. And she walks over to me, and she says, "It's great to meet you. And I want you to know that Rachel, John, all of us, the whole family, we watch all your stuff on Instagram. Every time Rachel has been on your show, we listened." I'm like, "Come on." She goes, "Sid, I'm telling you the truth. We're all very, very big fans and grateful for all you've done," which I started to cry, of course. And I said, it's probably a bad time to ask, being that it's the 1-year commemoration and her son has been murdered. But I wouldn't mind seeing Rachel again, because I saw Rachel in your studios last year. And she said, it's going to be tough, no question, but Rachel loves you so much that she may do it. But you remember her in those studios with us.
Exactly.
And what's happened since is just, Alex, we were this close to getting them out. This close.
We really were. Yeah, we just had a hostage rescue just several days before. And unfortunately, the orders have changed. And Hamas knows that if the IDF is getting close, that they are going to execute the soldiers, the hostages. They don't want Israel to rescue any of these hostages. They don't want any of them to come back alive. They just want to use them as a lever to psychologically terrorize the Israeli public and to gain upper ground in negotiations.
And yet, this ingrate that's running for president, that's all she is to me. She's garbage to me. Harris. She's on doing an interview yesterday. She's now done 2 sit-down interviews. She's got a third one coming up tomorrow with Oprah Winfrey. I mean, that's going to be a real hard-hitting interview. She says yesterday again, two-state solution. And she's actually proud of the fact that she's with Biden on keeping the 2,000-pound bombs from Israel, because she says on TV, that's our leverage. Wait a second. A United States president talking about leverage against Israel? And not to pat myself on the back, but I do it every time you're on. I told you this Monday, October 9th, about Biden and this whole administration. Did I not?
You told me. Yeah, absolutely.
But you're still disappointed, aren't you?
We hoped for better, certainly. There's been some support, but there's been, as you mentioned, leverage. They're putting sanctions against Israeli citizens. Some of them were protesting humanitarian aid going into Gaza while Hamas is still holding Israeli hostages. Some of them just living in Judea and Samaria, planting roots over there, and the withholding of weapons. So you're seeing actually they're laying out the strategy for what could happen after this war, where you could have the international community laying down sanctions on Israel. You could have arms embargoes across the board. We already saw the UK say that they're considering withholding arms from Israel. So this is the beginnings of what Israel could face, and we don't really know what the aftermath of this war is, because we're still fighting it.
I know you're on the same page as me with Bibi Netanyahu. You know him, actually. I don't. I'm been efforting to get him on this show forever. You, Norm Coleman, Ron Dermer. Will somebody help me with Bibi, please? I mean, Jesus. The guy's on with Dana Bash, who hates him. He's on with Margaret Brennan, who hates him. He's on Fox News every week. There's not one journalist. I'm not a journalist, forget it. There's not one entertainer in New York who's more pro-Bibi than me. So next week he's going to be here to deliver a message at the UN. I'm going to stand outside his hotel room like a dick with a sign, Bibi, I love you. I mean, come on, it's embarrassing for me.
All right, we'll see what we can do. We'll make some calls.
Well, you know him well. I mean, you're like, don't you get upset, all kidding aside, when you have thousands of these. The hostage parents, they get a pass from me, okay? Even Rachel, she's a liberal. I wasn't happy she spoke at the DNC, even though the message was beautiful, okay? She gets a pass.
Well, it's important for her to speak to the DNC to get these people to realize, hey, wait a second, we're talking about American kids.
I know, but they don't care. They scream, bring them home. That is the dumbest chant in the history of chants. What do you mean, bring them home? Let them go. That's the chant. What do you mean, bring them home? Like it's Bibi? Bibi can bring them home?
Exactly. They intentionally created that slogan. The people that created it are ad agencies that were part of all the anti-Netanyahu protests for years, and they specifically made it bring them home to put all the responsibility on their fate on the prime minister.
There you go.
As if the hostages are somehow in Netanyahu's basement.
Thank you. So, I've been saying this for months. Let them go. Let them go. So you get thousands of these people in Tel Aviv, and then you get these idiots in New York. I mean, one of the issues why I didn't enjoy last night as much as I should have was because I've gotten to the point where I really dislike Democrat Jews. They're my people. Don't care. They're not my people. Don't care. They're voting for people who are okay with Israelis being slaughtered in the streets, no matter what they say. For people that hold up paddles in Congress that say, Israel, they're the war criminals. For people that go to sorority parties, instead of watching Bibi speak, they're not my people. And they're playing clips last night at this event from MSNBC, as if Joe and Mika all of a sudden speak for me. They don't speak for me. Trump speaks for me. Fox News speaks for me. So I've got a huge issue with the American Jews here in New York. And they're going to be out there, again, demonstrating when Bibi's here. It's not right.
Definitely not right. Israel's fighting so hard, and what we really need is unity in this time. I think that's the most important thing. It's important to unify all Israelis, those on the left, on the right, those in the United States, those that support Republicans, those that support Democrats. Israel's facing an existential threat right now, and we need everybody together. Prime Minister Netanyahu has been the prime minister for a long time. He's the man of the moment, whether people like him or not. Everybody needs for him to do an exemplary job at this time. And everybody should be putting their full support and backing behind the state of Israel. And I do think that it's important for people to consider in this election, what administration is going to help Israel moving forward.
Well, what's the answer? It's an obvious answer.
Well, that's for you to tell the listeners.
That's right. You can't say it. That's right. You got JNS. And now, again, introduce the young lady here. Come up, move your face right by that microphone.
Here's my daughter, Tamima, right, 21 years old.
Now, we've met at your house at Shabbos. And you got along great with my daughter, Ava, and my son, Gabe. And you're 21. For some reason, I thought you was 18. You have an 18-year-old daughter, too,
I have an
right?
18-year-old son.
Oh, the son. Okay. So you're here with your pop in New York, and you keep kind of shaking your head and give me a look like you tend to agree with almost everything that I say.
Well,
you do,
I do.
Don't you? You
I do.
Yeah. I mean, you're a very vocal leader in Israel. And so give me your thoughts on what's going on and where you are as a country right now.
Well, as a teen in Israel, well, not a teen anymore,
right.
But, the young people, we're really trying to stay strong, live life, continue living. We don't want to show anyone that we're cowering in our houses. I go to work every day, just really trying to show people that we're strong and that we're continuing to live our lives.
Right. I mean, I'm being at your house for Shabbos, and Tzippi, who's your mom, who I love her, by the way, she can cook, very good cook. But you're living the life like everybody other kid here in New York. I mean, you go out, right? You go to restaurants, you go to bars. You don't, even though there's people with rifles on every corner, it's kind of weird, but it doesn't really affect you. You're living, and your brothers like basketball and all that stuff, right?
Right. Absolutely.
So you don't really even realize most of the time that you're in a war-torn country.
I mean, no, but it's also important to constantly remind ourselves, we have our soldiers who are my friends out, fighting for us. So It's very important, also from one point to continue living life as normal, but also remember we still have hostages and always have that in mind. Remember our soldiers, pray for them every single day, and our hostages, and just, That's
what you have to do, pray for the hostages.
Yeah,
so on the way out, when Iran attacked a couple of months ago, and I was texting your father at 3 o'clock in the morning, you and Judah Honickman, were you nervous? I mean, you're getting bombarded with missiles and rockets.
I know. It was kind of crazy because everyone went to bed that night. And just me and my dad stayed awake. And he said, you know what? Just prepare the bomb shelter for the night. Everyone was sleeping, fast asleep. Like, just prepare the bomb shelter. Make sure everything's ready. We got blankets. We got drinks, food, just in case anything happens. And I was up late at night getting everything ready. The minute I laid my head down on the pillow, the sirens went off.
Oh my God.
My crazy,
God.
Yeah.
So now, she's adorable, by the way. She's great. You remind me of my daughter. She's right inside. So before you leave.
I have to go say hi to her.
Yeah, she's, well, just make sure you take her to see Ava before she leaves.
Okay.
So now Iran strikes, okay? So now they're pissed again. Hezbollah's pissed again because it turns out this pager deal that went down, they're saying we did it, Israel. I hope to God, I know we did, because it was so brilliant. Could you imagine who would have the genius to booby trap pagers, that type of technology, and detonate them from I don't know how, and all at the same time? So it probably was us. I mean, I'll say it, you won't. But if it, what a genius way to attack, no?
Well, I think we all understand who did this. I think that's pretty clear. I'm not a government spokesperson. I can say it. I'm a journalist.
Okay. So the Mossad was behind this. They're geniuses.
Yeah, obviously. You know, so.
But does this mean now that here we go again? They're going to retaliate again? Are they not? They're going to do it when I get there.
Well, the genius of this type of attack is that it was a self-selecting attack on Hezbollah operatives, right? They had 3,000 of them carrying these pagers. So who would have attacked? Who would lead an attack? Why do they have these pagers? Were they about to commit an October 7th style attack on Israel? And now, you have thousands of them that are injured, some of them with like eyes,
limbs
blown
off,
out,
eyes blown out, right.
Their hands, big holes in their hips.
But they were like civilians. They were like in supermarkets, and just like the innocent civilian Palestinians I keep hearing about all day long, that also were keeping hostages in their homes.
Exactly. Although in Lebanon, the situation is a little bit different because a lot of the country actually hates Hezbollah, so they didn't all vote for Hezbollah the way the Gazans all voted for Hamas. But now these operatives, these terror operatives, these terrorists, they can't mobilize, right? Yeah. And how would they be mobilized if Hezbollah wants to attack? Their system for mobilizing was these pagers. So now they've destroyed the pagers. They've injured all the operatives, and they've probably prevented the loss of many, many, many lives in Israel. And they've got Hezbollah looking over their shoulder, right? If Israel could manipulate 3,000 of their pagers, what else do they know?
Unbelievable. Unreal.
An incredible, daring, courageous, preemptive strike that's saved a lot of lives, and it's given Israel now a very significant advantage over Hezbollah, and let's see where the momentum carries.
In the final 60 seconds, I had the opportunity a couple of weeks ago to go visit President Trump at Bedminster. I'm one of the quote-unquote Jewish voices for Trump. I'm very proud of that, Trump and Vance. A lot of my friends, you know them, Siggy Flicker and Stella Escobedo, and there's a ton of them. And Michelle Lubin-Terrace, who started Jexit. So they're doing the same event we did in Bedminster tomorrow in Washington, D.C. I've been invited. I can't go because I have a prior commitment with David Friedman, our friend David Friedman, the former ambassador. You are going to go to this event.
Well, I'm going to the Israeli-American Council. It's a big summit. And Trump will be speaking to the summit. Should be over 3,000 people there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's not even this event. That's even bigger.
This is a bigger event. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But it's they've also invited Democrats to speak there. I think they put out invitations to Biden and Harris. I don't think that they're going to show up.
You don't think so?
But there will be some Democrats there. I think Richie Torres is going to be there.
Richie's a very good pro-Israel guy. My wife loves him. And I don't, because he votes with Biden too much. So to me, I need you to be pro-American and pro-Israel. Being just one without the other doesn't work for me. You got to be both. So I like Richie. I don't love him like my family does. But I know he's probably beloved with you folks.
Oh, certainly. We'll take support from wherever we get it.
Sure.
It's we're let's say one issue. One issue.
No, him and Josh Gottheimer, another Democrat that is very, very pro-Israel.
It's important. What you think about abortion should have nothing to do with what you think about Israel or other things. It's
Couldn't agree more.
Doesn't everything? It's not all a bucket. It's not like okay, if you vote over here, then every single issue is like this. People should think for themselves, and they should know that regardless of how you vote, there's one country in the Middle East is an ally of the United States, and that's the state of Israel. And Hamas, Hezbollah, they're not allies of the United States. They're saying death to Israel. They're saying death to America.
Well, it's great to see you. And I want to do Shabbos with you again in 2 weeks.
Well, I think Shabbat is, I think it's Yom Kippur.
It is. So
Friday night, I mean, you can come to our house before the fast. We'll have a nice meal then. You can come to our house Saturday night. We'll break the fast in style. But Yom Kippur, it's going to be a much more intense experience. So maybe you'll come to synagogue with me.
I may have, because Judah Honigman wants me to come to his place. Mm-hmm. He lives by Ramallah. It's pretty dangerous over there. But he's been telling me to go to his place. So wherever I go, I have to go before Shabbos, because like you said, now I got to hunker down through Yom Kippur. But here's my problem. Sorry, don't be mad at me. I'm American Jew, okay? I can't go to shul for 9 hours. I go for Nila at the very end. I go for Kol Nidre for my father, and I'll do Marev. Otherwise, I got to watch college football. I'm sorry.
Well, you see how you feel when you get to Israel. You might feel the heaviness of October 7th. You might feel the seriousness of the Day of Atonement, and look, it's going to be a powerful experience.
Okay, well, I'll see you there for sure.
Definitely.
Tippy's a great cook. I'll see your boys and your lovely daughter. Go see Justin. Make sure she sees Ava before she leaves, and enjoy DC tomorrow.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see you again in Israel. There'll be 2 shows from your wonderful studios, and then we'll spend the weekend. So.
Amazing. Looking forward.
I love you. By the way, Danielle sends her love to you guys. We'll take a short break. If there's any place you want to go for Israel information, there's only one, not the Jerusalem Post. I get it. It's like the New York Times. Fiction. JNS.org. JNS.org. My man Alex Traiman is the CEO. He is he's a great Israeli and a great American, folks. Don't forget, New York guy. We'll take a short break. We got a big 7 o'clock hour about to come your way. Curtis Sliwa is always great. And Rich Lowry, don't forget Ava Rosenberg coming up at 8:15. And Scott LoBaido, who's painting today from Nassau Coliseum. He'll be here at 9:15. Trump Day! Sid and Friends in the morning. And I'm coming after you, Howard Stern. I'm coming after you, you big pussy.
She's got many bitches on the ground. It was overflowing gently when it started entering my
This is Sid and Friends in the morning.
77 WABC.
This whole idea, if you like me, you're good, and if you don't, you're bad. I mean, I've been the victim of this. I don't hate the guy. I hate the people who vote for him. I think they're stupid. I do. I'll be honest with you. I have no respect for you.
My wife's favorite here, Billy Idol, White Wedding. Let me tell you something, you long-haired, big-nosed little biatch. You just disrespected 70-plus million Americans, starting with me, because I am a Trump supporter. I love Donald Trump, and I'm not stupid. I'm not the guy sitting in my basement for 4 years with a mask on, inside my own house, you moron. That's you, Howard Stern. That is you. So for all these Trump supporters in the parking lot right now at Nassau Coliseum, getting ready for our friend to speak tonight, and all these Trump supporters, not just in New York City, but Israel and around the world, Howard Stern, that little biatch, just took a shot at you. And I've said this 5 times this morning, and I will say it till I sign off at 10 and hand off to Brian Kilmeade. I want to punch Howard Stern right across the face. And I only hope it gets back to him. Noam, what have you done so far to make sure Howard hears this? Because I want to make sure this gets back to him.
Well, I'm going to take the tape now, because they're actually on air as we speak, and I will send it to the appropriate people. So maybe it'll get to him. You never know what they're going to play for him.
Yeah.
Because they're afraid of him.
But they play me and O'Reilly for Howard all the time on this show. But Gary probably, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm out there supporting the Trump supporters. So Curtis, who now, I was going to say very quietly, but it's not so quietly, has become one of us. The host of Rip and Read, noon to 1, every weekday afternoon, overnight weekends, and does an incredible job with me every day. And we got a lot to discuss here the next 10 minutes. Eric Adams, rats, Israel, all of it. But you said you're going to calm me down here with this Stern stuff. What are you talking about?
Yeah, calm down, tough guy. I can see Sid getting into the ring, announcing, Sid, the Jewish bomber, Rosenberg. You got your Star of David embroidered on your boxing trunks. You got your your blue Star of David, right?
Yeah.
You're like flexing there. This is like fighting Pee Wee Herman.
I don't care.
Tiny Tim.
I understand. I got it. He is skinny and out of shape and old and older than me.
Well, this is what you do. This is what you do. Because he did Trump the best favor possible that he can do. He's got Trump listeners, you know. Not everybody like yourself has extricated himself from Howard.
I got to tell you, everybody that I know that likes Stern and likes Trump, they're gone.
Yeah.
Even people I know that don't love Trump, people close to me that don't love Trump, they're gone.
Did they cancel their Sirius?
Yes, all of it, not just Stern, all of it.
Right, but a lot of them are addicted, so they go back and they snack. Let me tell you something. This goes back to September of 2016, when Hillary said half of Donald Trump's supporters belong in a basket of deplorables.
That's right, yes.
You're racist, you're sexist, you're homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic. And that was a tipping point. That was a tipping point because you attacked the candidate. You don't attack the followers. He attacked everybody. He didn't say half of Donald Trump's supporters. He said all of them.
All of us. All of us. 70 million plus. Howard Stern. He is now public enemy number 3 behind Biden and Harris. Of course.
Let me
Harris
tell you
and
something.
Biden.
When I was at PS 114, we had the list of the 10 best fighters in school. You had to fight your way through or back down. There was never a Jew on the list.
Never?
Never. There was Joey Canavo, number 1. There was Fishhead, the Irish guy, big Irish guy, and Curtis Sliwa, judo boy, number 3. So Fishhead comes up to me, goes, I got to break your nose here because you're challenging me. I say, I'm number 3, right? He goes, no, if I turn my back, you'll soon be number 2. He's right. I would have japped him. So we get out in the schoolyard. Everybody is out there. This guy hit me so hard, my mother felt the vibrations. I'm happy that the gym teacher came out and broke it up, or I'd have been dead. Sid, you don't need this. You really don't need. You know what you need to do? You're going to be with Bruce Blakeman and the Nassau County entourage today, right?
Yes, I am.
Didn't they enter him into the Nassau County Hall of Fame?
I believe they did.
Yeah, you had his.
I was there that night. I was sitting there at this beautiful. It was the 125th birthday dinner.
Yes.
And they played like a 3-minute video. Me and O'Reilly are sitting there,
right,
of Howard Stern.
So how about this? You convince them to pull it, to strip him from the Hall of Fame of Nassau County, where there are many people, and insert Sid Rosenberg instead.
But I don't live in Nassau County. He did.
Look, you spend more time in Nassau County than he ever
You're right.
has.
You're right about this.
He was birthed there, and that's about it.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to start
he's like
today.
Howard Hughes. Yeah. He never comes out of his house.
Yeah, I'm going to rough up Bruce Blakeman now today,
I wouldn't
too.
doubt that he's urinating in milk bottles and putting them outside right at the front door. You know that.
It's amazing
this
to me.
This guy's a freak.
I know. It's amazing to me, though, because when I fought Bernie, for example, not much about fighting.
Tough guy.
Kicked my ass. I had no idea he had Golden Gloves training. He was great. But before Bernie and I fought, the real first radio fight ever was Stuttering John against Crazy Cabby.
Yeah.
That was Stern.
Yeah.
So Stern, it was his idea. And he got angry because me and Bernie did Primus, what his guys did. I can't believe in all the years, Mr. Guardian Angel, you have fought people in the streets, in Penn Station, every city across this country. There's never been like a Curtis Sliwa, Geraldo Rivera celebrity boxing match?
No, look, Geraldo with his big schnoz had it broken so many times he couldn't afford it again. Although Stern did threaten to shoot me. And I went down to their studios when he was on commercial radio. And he wouldn't come down.
Howard Stern threatened to shoot you?
Yes, he did, because I had his father on with my father at the old WABC. He objected to that because his father was
I liked his father, actually.
Not very complimentary towards his son.
No, he wasn't. He called him a moron all the time.
Exactly. So he took it out.
Sit down and shut up.
He said, you do that again and I'll shoot you.
Oh, God.
You don't say to me you're going to shoot me.
Yeah.
And I showed up downstairs outside the studios, and then after that, I was persona non grata. They ignored me.
Did you like Imus?
No.
No, okay. Did you like Imus?
Remember, I went on Stern and eviscerated him.
Well, I know all about it.
And
I did the same thing.
Imus must have had dementia and Alzheimer's. He forgot all about it.
Listen to me. I did the same thing, and I was back on Imus, Curtis, in 3 weeks.
Yes.
I don't think he forgot about it. I don't think he cared. But who do you like less, Imus or Stern?
Right now, it's even Stevens.
Yeah. They're both dead anyway.
It's even Stevens.
Both dead.
Well, look, Don Imus can't shoot me because he would have shot me.
Right.
And we know Stern, he doesn't carry a toolie. Are you kidding? This guy's afraid of his own shadow.
He carries $100 bills.
Now, let me talk about tough guys, the Israelis, once again. Remember in the age of the 80s and 90s when all the drug dealers had beepers and, oh my God, it was Motorola was making a ton of dough on pages. The only other ones who had it were doctors. I think doctors still have their pages in the beepers.
Bookmakers too.
Right. $200, right? You buy it. $25 a month. Beep, 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 beep.
You know what happened? And then that was the regular beeper. And then talking about bookmakers, they started making beepers in the early to mid 90s where it would actually flash news and sports scores.
Right.
So I had the sports score beeper. So instead of calling sports phone, 718, whatever the number was, the beeper would light up and you'd get West Coast scores. And it was really for degenerates.
There is an area between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv that goes for about a mile. It's the Silicon Valley with the brightest, most intelligent engineers imaginable. They're all Israeli. You know damn well that once Nasrallah there, little Chucky Cheese says, don't use cell phones. Use these beepers and pages. You know some Israelis said, man, we're going to light them all up.
Amazing.
All on the same day. Kaboom!
But could you imagine how genius, Curtis, the technology is to be able to, A, booby trap a beeper and then have them all basically detonate at the same time? I mean, the Mossad is so ahead of everybody else.
Admit this shit, that when you heard that, it was better than actually having sex twice in the same day and climaxing.
Been a long time, Curtis, since I've had sex twice in this.
But in your friskier days.
I'm not going to go that far.
No, in your friskier days. Come on, remember.
Yeah,
my exploits were in the front pages of the New York Post about that. But the point is,
no, it's pretty hot.
I'm not a Jew, but I was excited.
No, it's hot. It's hot.
Because I wanted to do that to so many drug dealers, and I could never figure out how to do that in the 80s and 90s.
The only issue for me becomes now, Hezbollah will have to retaliate again. You know, it goes back and forth, and they know it's us. So now I wonder if they're going to do it in like 2 weeks when guess who's going to be in Israel?
No, don't worry about it, Sid.
You're not worried about it because as much as you profess to love me and say nice things about me on the air, there'd be nobody happier than you.
Oh, my God.
If the bomb goes off a drone in Tel Aviv.
I would give you the best eulogy. I would make sure they bury you right near the mount. Don't bring the body back here. Bury him with the patriarchs. Oh. In fact, I would say in Hebron, there is the tomb of the patriarch Abraham. Bury him right there and do not bring the body back here.
That's very sweet. Thank you. And then how long do you think it will be before you actually called John Catsimatidis and said, I'm your guy?
Oh, no, they were right away. You could be on life support, right? Like Sharon was for 7 years, a vegetable, right? Yeah. Like Ariel Sharon.
So if God forbid, I'm injured.
Hashem.
But I'm not dead yet.
Yes.
Would you consider sending a guardian angel undercover to Israel to finish the job?
With a My Pillow. Absolutely, with a My Pillow. I mean, he'd snuff you out. Now, he would sacrifice himself because they would kill him and shoot him up like a slice of Swiss cheese, and I would give him a great eulogy, too.
You are funny. So there was a point there where you were angry. Curtis is so good because you wanted to be the rat czar. My wife made a funny joke this morning. She said, David Banks and all these guys around him, they're the rats. And you kind of said the same thing to me about two-legged. But on a serious note, Eric Adams now getting angry We've got the nerve to ask him. Everybody he knows has been raided by the FBI. Everybody. And we've got the nerve to ask him about this?
New Yorkers don't care about these investigations. They know that we're not just surviving, we're thriving.
Let me tell you how much they know. And I've known this for months. All you guys out there and girls who think you're breaking news with Andrew Cuomo, I had to do it again with Brian Kilmeade on Fox News on Saturday. You saw it. Me and Tommy Lauer. I go, he's running. This is not new news. I said this on this show 6 months ago after we dined at Fresco. So he's jumping in. Everybody's jumping in because they know that New Yorkers do care and Eric Adams is finished.
Well, think of this. While Eric Adams was saying, none of us care about all these investigations, an 88-year-old woman gets mugged and beaten in Sunset Park. An 81-year-old woman walking her dog on the Upper West Side, West 66 in Amsterdam. They have the video. This monster comes up behind her, hits her, almost kills her. This is all going on in Eric Adams' delusional world where crime is down. We're not surviving, we're thriving. But then, of course, there's the political vulture hovering over the drowning Eric Adams, his friend. Remember Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo said, I would never run against my very dear friend Eric. I told you, these are like organized crime families. They'll sit down and have a meal with you. The next moment, he'll have Joe Picoco outside with a baseball bat, busting up his kneecaps and sending him to the hospital, to the ICU. They have no morality. They have no scruples.
It turns out you're right. But how many times, honestly, how many times in the last 6 months have I said on air?
Oh, absolutely.
On air, Curtis, you're running against Cuomo. How many times have I said that?
Over and over. And by
you
the
keep
way,
saying, bring it on.
That's right. And by the way, they are now lobbying the GOP leaders. They're having conversations with them to stop Sliwa. They want to stop me. They don't care who they support. Adams, Cuomo, this Melissa DeRosa, who still has the blood on her hands. Hey, Melissa, you listening, right? Come in with Sid. Come in here and explain the 15,000 dead elderly people that Andrew Evil Eyes Cuomo shrunk from when Stefanik chopped his three-piece set off and stuffed it in his cowardly mouth. And as he ran outside and said, no mas, no mas. And immediately you started picking up the phone and you were calling everybody. Cuomo's running. And then all of a sudden Melissa DeRosa would say, no, he's not. You liar. You lied over 15,000 dead people. You were for no cash bail. You called ICE thugs. You ran away from the governorship because you were going to be impeached and indicted. Hey, coward Cuomo, get into the ring of fire. Let's do it in Studio 17 now, punk. Let's do it street. And you're calling GOP leaders to stop Sliwa? Well, let me tell you all GOP leaders, you don't think a Republican can win? That's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You backed Adams against me. Don't lie. You going to back Cuomo against me? I'm the only guy who can save this city because I'm honest. The rest of them are so crooked that when they bury them, they're going to have to find a Black & Decker power drill to drill them into the cemetery. Hey, Cuomo, stop hiding behind Melissa DeRosa. Come on out and play in the streets, buddy, because I will take you out like I will take out the rest of them, including my own Republicans. Bring it on.
Pick it up. Take me back home, man. There's nothing fair in this world.
This is Sid and Friends in the Morning.
Entertaining and informative.
Oh, you're my best friend.
77 WABC.
She's been afraid to go out. sure who comes to call. Maybe the friend of a friend
of a friend. Love this song. Your town, right?
Her town, too.
Her town, too.
It's going to be fun for me explaining
who
this.
died who wrote this song? Somebody died who wrote this song?
Yes. Yeah, he was pretty prominent. J.D. Souther.
J.D. Salinger?
Yes.
He went Catcher in the Rye?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's amazing he moved on to music after such a prominent authoring career.
It is a great song.
But he was a very big songwriter in the 70s, 80s. He still was, I guess.
How old was he?
78.
Oh,
he died yesterday.
Young. It's young.
Yeah, but he wrote New Kid in Town, Heartache Tonight.
Oh.
He co-wrote these songs.
Eagles, yeah, great songs. Great songs.
And he sings with James Taylor.
Right, of course,
on that song.
JT.
Yes.
We got some great guests still stopping by. Scott LoBaido usually in studio, not in studio today because he's already at the Nassau Coliseum. He is speed painting tonight to open up the festivities like he did in Wildwood, New Jersey. He is a relentless patriot, the great American. He'll join us, Peter King, and live in studio next hour. My daughter, Ava Rosenberg, was so proud of her.
This is Sid and Friends in the morning.
77 WABC.
This is the one that weaponized, not me. She weaponized. I probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me. They talk about democracy. I'm a threat to democracy. They're the threat to democracy with a fake Russia investigation that went nowhere.
That hangs around your neck has got me locked up in it. You got to learn to live until no end. But first you must learn to swim all over again. Oh no, because pain lies on the riverside.
Pain lies by the riverside. That's my guy, President Donald Trump. Going to see him later on today, Nassau Coliseum. Let's go. Let's go, Patriots. Let's go, brave Americans. Showing up in big numbers. And he's right. It's their rhetoric. You know, I know that Biden reached out to him and Kamala. Let's go read Dan Scavino's Instagram. He's like, you're so full of shizzle. There's no sincerity there. Let's be honest, okay? I like Beningo. Let's be honest.
Hey, bro.
Let's be honest. If President Trump was killed in either one of these opportunities, the kid in Butler, Pennsylvania, or this idiot Sunday in the golf course, they couldn't care less. You got people like Dan Goldman, this animal, this congressman, this Jew. He's pro-Israel. See, this is why I argue with people. No, you're pro-Israel. So what? Dan Goldman said, and I quote, President Trump needs to be eliminated. You know, somebody sent me on Instagram yesterday. I don't have it here in front of me now, but 40 or 50 different Democrat politicians that used words like eliminated, disappear, killed, shot. I mean, just flat out said it. And some of the biggest names in the Democrat Party have said that. So I don't care that Kamala or Biden reached out to Trump. They don't really care. They weren't sitting on their bed in Milwaukee crying like I was, or like a lot of you were, at home right now in your cars or on the way to the Nassau Coliseum. They don't care. We care. We care. We know this. We're in big trouble. Big trouble. The United States, Israel. You've got this Harris sitting there yesterday talking about two-state solutions and how she's using 2,000-pound bombs as leverage against Israel. What United States president ever sat and did a public interview and talked about leverage against Israel? This is what we're dealing with. This is no joke. And then you got people out there trying to kill this poor guy. Put him in prison, kill him. And then you've got people in this city, big numbers, that are going to vote the other side. Now, I know what Trump's been saying the last 2 days. We can win New York. Here's where Trump's doing a poor job. Again, I'm being critical of Trump, but I'll be honest with him. He's not using me enough. I'm sorry. Lee Zeldin's great. I love Lee Zeldin. Almost won the gubernatorial. He's great. I love Lee Zeldin. All these congressmen, they're terrific. They don't have the pull. They're not talking to 1 million people a week like I am. I shouldn't have to beg the Trump team to speak on Long Island today. And I'm not going to speak. I shouldn't have to do that. You want to win New York, and I got listeners that are not all Republicans. There are some, few, but Democrats that do listen because I like sports, they like my kids, they like my wife, they think I'm cute, a variety of reasons. But Trump should be using me more.
Let's be honest with this.
Yeah, enough of the same old politicians. I mean, enough. Donald, baby, enough. But I do think he's got a shot in New York. Although, again, I'm at an event last night with Jewish people. And they're playing clips of MSNBC. That's all you need to know. It's just so disheartening. It's just, yeah.
That must have made you feel
so Danielle kept, grabbing my hand because.
Of course, to calm you down.
Yeah. Somebody up there thanked the White House. I'm like, are you nuts? But they have to do that because they need the weapons, they need the money, they need the help. But I can't control myself. You remember last year, the Secret Service had to kick me out of the room. That's the event that the rabbi and the Reverend Rabbi had. John Katzmatidis, Keith Kantrowitz. They had to kick me out of the room because I couldn't control myself. I'm not mature enough to do that. I just, Brooklyn, you start yelling stuff.
Now, there's no getting through to you then, too. It's like
looking
at
over.
you and
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
okay.
So Danielle's
over the line.
Grabbing my hand like really hard. Like, just don't do it, Sid. I know, but don't do it.
Because she could feel it coming before.
Oh, no, because
the speaker talks.
Well, I start to mumble a little bit under my breath, and then I just blurt something out because I've got Tourette's anyway, So it starts off like, you son of a bitch! Like Howard Stern, you big pussy.
That's good that you're realizing how it starts even. It does start like with a snarl and a little...
Yeah. It's a slow boil.
Oh, good. Here it comes.
And then the thing erupts like a volcano,
Like those Brady Bunch episodes where the volcano was about to explode. Hey, look at this, Peter.
I want these people to show up today and whether I'm on stage or not, just go nuts. So President Trump is here, and it's a very, very big deal. And Bruce Blakeman and Congressman Anthony D'Esposito and Joe Cairo. I love Joe Cairo and Pete King, who's going to join me later this hour. Nick LaLota on the Suffolk County side. Ed Romaine, who's the Suffolk County executive. He's great. Now, this is in Nassau County today, of course, but Long Island continues to be what I believe should be the example for all of New York. Whether it's Suffolk or Nassau. More Nassau, but still, Long Island does a tremendous job. No accident that President Trump is speaking on Long Island today. All right, we're wrapping up hour number 2. Big hour number 3 again. The aforementioned Pete King, and I'll say this again in 45 minutes, in my lifetime, and if God is good to me, I'll be 58 in April. The two best local politicians, Rudy Giuliani and Pete King. But first, coming up after the news, man, are we proud of her. She's going back to the UK on Sunday, but not before they put her through hell. I know this kid pretty well. My daughter, Ava Caroline Rosenberg, is coming up.
77 WABC.
This is Sid and Friends in the morning.
No, I get by with a little help from my friends.
Great Jimi Hendrix. Excuse me, you mind if I dance with your date? Oh, that was Otis Day of the Nights. I'm sorry.
Very close.
What did Jimmy, today his birthday, or did he die today?
He died very early in life.
Yeah.
He asphyxiated.
27 years old.
Yes.
They're all dead at 27. Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison,
Kurt Cobain,
Amy Winehouse. There's more. All the same age, 27. Weird. He's been gone a long time, Jimmy.
Maybe Hank Williams, too. I don't know. I'm not sure about him. He died in 1970.
So he's been dead 54 years.
That is a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, he died the year after Woodstock. That's right. Right after Woodstock.
In London,
well,
choking on his own,
vomit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we just talked about P. Diddy. I said he's a very bad guy. Should be in prison. So, Kamala Harris has only done 2 sit-down interviews. Ava's coming up next, my daughter. She's only done 2 sit-down interviews. She's got her 3rd sit-down interview coming up tomorrow. You want to talk about a home court advantage? Who's she doing it with? Oprah Winfrey. Oprah loved, according to Danielle, Diddy. Loved him. Had him on, talked about him like he was the greatest thing ever. Where's Oprah Winfrey today? Will Oprah Winfrey bring up P. Diddy with Kamala tomorrow? I don't think so. Oprah Winfrey, I mean, I used to love her. I'm not going to lie. She's nice comeback story. She went through a lot. And she certainly is a huge success. And I like greatness. I do. I appreciate people who overcome the odds and end up being great. But then eventually, like Stern, same thing. They sell out and they become garbage. They go from inspirational to garbage in no time. Both Oprah Winfrey, Howard Stern, and many others. See, I haven't made it to that point yet, so I can't be garbage. I'm still working on the inspirational part. Somehow, my friend Mike LaPetri, who's running for Congress on Long Island, he's been in studio with me, and he was on Fox News this morning. Somehow he's speaking tonight, and I'm not. Somebody explain that one to me.
Well, this gets better and better.
I mean, how many people at the Nassau Coliseum tonight know Mike LaPetri? No, I love Mike. Mike's going to be back in studio tomorrow. But Mike LaPetri is speaking tonight, but not Sid Rosenberg. Yeah. If I sound angry, I am.
You should be, because I don't want to, load on. But, there's 2 hours. This thing starts at 5 o'clock.
And he speaks at 7.
And he doesn't walk on until 7 if he walks on exactly at 7. So that's
got
2 hours of people.
2 hours of boring politicians.
Wow. Yeah, I just saw also Jiggs McDonald is going to introduce Bob Nystrom, and they're gonna go through the goal that won the Islanders' first Stanley Cup. They can't make that up. I'm sorry.
This is Sid and Friends in the morning.
But you say he's just a friend. Oh, you're my best friend.
77 WABC.
Oi. We'll be in your show plenty because you have a great show and you have big ratings, Sid. I don't even know if you know how good your show is, okay? But you have big ratings and you have a great show and you've been my friend for a long time and I appreciate it.
I never knew that everything was falling through, that everyone I knew was waiting on a cue to turn and run when all I needed was was the truth. That's how it's got to be. It's coming down to nothing more than apathy. I'd rather run the other way than stay and see the smoke and who's still standing when it clears. And everyone knows I'm in over my head, over my head. 8 seconds left and all the time. She's on your mind, she's on your mind.
The fray over my head. I'll get to the fray in a second. Of course, that was President Trump, my friend right there. Many times he's been on this show, so. My wife, Danielle, my beautiful wife, she takes every opportunity to break my balls, you know. So I'm complaining I'm not speaking tonight yet. And Danielle sends me this text. Trump's team just called me. They want me to speak tonight. So when my daughter Ava was a little girl, Ava Caroline Rosenberg, she's now 20. I used to drive her to school, this little school in Boca Raton. It was Addison Academy. And she used to love the fray. That song, Over My Head. She loved How to Save a Life. Love that band. Now, fast forward many years, and our daughter is now 20. And you all know about Ava. She goes to university, in the United Kingdom. And she is about to start her third and final year. It's a big deal, a really big deal. And it's made even bigger by the fact that if you read the story that I posted, and thousands of you did, you read it. Everybody at Fox News read it. Everybody's aware of this, Mark Levin, all of them, that she was doxxed when we were in Israel. And we have spent the better part of the last, 9 months trying to make life easier and safer for Ava at her own university, because these animals went as far as humiliating my daughter, death threats to her and me, even her brother Gabriel, online, handing out pamphlets at school with her picture on it, my picture on it, and they won't stop at nothing to make her miserable. But as I said the other day, like a movie here, they effed with the wrong person. You don't F with a Rosenberg. I don't care if it's Sydney, Danielle, Ava, or Gabe, because my daughter is tough. And she's going to go back to school, and she's going to continue what she's been doing for the last 2 years, which is be one of the best students at that university. She's going to come back. She's going to take the bar. She's going to be a successful lawyer no matter where she lives, and she's going to get the last laugh, while these other people who continue to do nothing but berate and harass her are going to do nothing with their lives. Nothing. So with that said, here she is, the author of a big column. Linda Sedaka did a great job. Our daughter, Ava. Good morning, Ava. How are you?
Good morning.
How you doing? Okay.
I am doing great. Thank you. That actually really moved me.
It did?
That was moving. Yeah. Yeah.
What part?
Everything. Yeah. And it sounded like a monologue from some sort of Rocky movie.
I don't
was
have
like,
any,
wow.
I have nothing in front of me here. You know
I
that.
know.
But it is true. You
of course.
To analogize yourself with Rocky is perfectly fair. And I don't even think people know all the details. You can fill them in.
Of course.
But as you get set to go back to school this Sunday, you're going back this Sunday.
Yes.
And don't cry, because I'm going to see you in Israel in 2 weeks.
I'll see, yeah.
All right.
By the way, guys, I am going to Israel. I will be in Israel on October 7th.
You'll be there with me, yes.
Yes.
You're going to meet me there. But you're going back on Sunday.
Yes,
and despite their attempts to intimidate you and keep you from going back, and this is why me, Mommy, and Gabriel are all very proud of you, you're going back.
Of course. So I want to fill you guys in on a few things. Not only did they make these pamphlets of me, and did they send me death threats and even sexually explicit threats, and which necessitated police patrols around my old house. Not only did my old housemate's victim blame me, and my old landlord blame me for this as well. And I lost a lot of friends and a lot of people. But you
didn't lose any friends.
That's true.
Right?
Friends, that's true. They weren't real. Basically, these people went so far as to create a sort of group administrative complaint against me, which I was investigated for 7 months. I shouldn't even been investigated in the first place. Obviously, the claims were all dismissed because I did not do anything bad or break the code of conduct. I exercised my right to freedom of speech. But I also had made complaints against students and staff who were directly involved in my harassment, who had directly targeted me, and those complaints were also dismissed.
All three.
All three of them.
This week, that just happened.
Exactly. So for some reason, my university thinks that you can target Jews without consequences. And I am definitely here to change that.
Yes, you are. And with the help of me and your mom. Now, you know when you got doxxed in Israel.
Yeah.
Ironically, Alex Traiman, who was in studio this morning.
Yeah, I saw him.
We were at his apartment in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And I called Alan Dershowitz from his apartment. And I said, Alan, help us. And he did. He got us Julius's number, who represented Princess Diana. Very high profile, powerful attorneys in London. We've used them.
Yeah.
But certainly now, after what happened this week, where we thought, hey, maybe the school was going to help us out.
No.
Maybe now it is time to sue these people.
And the issue is that at the end of the day, I am obviously outnumbered. And the school,
what are the numbers exactly?
School recognizes that. I'm one of like 25 Jewish students in my whole
school. And how many
school.
students are there altogether?
Like over 20,000.
So you're talking about 23,000 students.
Yeah.
And you're one of 23 Jews.
One of 25. And honestly, a lot of the Jews I know are not very open about their identity. There's a different culture in the UK about being openly proud and Jewish. Even in London, I don't know if you guys know this, but they actually created a separate bus system in North London for Jews because of how bad the hate crimes are. And once again, we see that the onus is placed upon us to protect ourselves. We are marginalized and segregated so that we are safer, but there are actual severe ramifications for those who are actually committing these hateful acts. It's a huge problem. It's an epidemic. It's institutional, okay? Anti-Semitism. And it's not just happening in the UK. It's not just happening in America. It's happening across the globe. And we're seeing this complicity from universities who are cowering to the mob. And the people that will change this are us, the Jewish students, which is why I decided to go back. Because ultimately, if I did not go back and I transferred or I dropped out, it would set an example and it would show them, just like similarly with terrorists, that you can bully and harass somebody into leaving in silence.
I remember after 9/11, when people stopped going out to eat or going to ball games, they would go, don't do that. You do that, the terrorists win. In this case, if you dropped out, because I had a friend say to me last week, how are you and Danielle sending her back? First of all, it's not our decision.
Yeah.
Ava's 20 years old. She's worked very hard to get here. It's up to her. Certainly, Ava listens to us. We make recommendations. I said, but I'm all for her going back, because if you don't go back, the terrorists win. But with that said, are you nervous? Are you excited?
Of course, I feel a mixture of emotions. I am nervous, as any human being would be. I am also excited because I am excited to obtain my degree that I have been working so hard for. I do have some amazing friends there. Luckily, I'm not fully alone. And I'm excited to embark on this new journey. Unfortunately, October 7th and everything that's happened since has been horrific, but I have found some sort of purpose within this type of advocacy. And since I was little, I've always really cared for social issues and things of that sort. And I really care about this, truly. That's why, I am going back to Israel October. I will be seeing you on October 7th, and we will be helping out on October 7th in the South. So, I have found that I play a role in this. That's also why I need to go back. And I really want to be a voice for those who feel that they cannot be proudly themselves in their own home. And I want to encourage students everywhere to stand up and not stand down.
You were at this event with me and Mommy and Gabe last night. And in fact, you saw Noah Argamani. And you have been terrific. And I actually tell people my daughter's a social influencer. My daughter,
I wish.
An advocate. Well, you're getting there. You're getting there.
Yeah.
Emily Austin loves you. Lizzie Savetsky loves you. These are the big players. They love you. They love you. So when this story came out a couple of days ago, people obviously were behind you. Because you are affected. Seeing Noah last night, I saw your face sitting next to Rachel Goldberg's cousin.
Yeah.
That was tough. And you really have shouldered some of this sorrow like I have these months. And it has been, I think, for you, I think you'd admit, almost like a second job the last couple of months.
Honestly, yes, because it doesn't even feel like a job. I feel like as Jews in the diaspora, we have an obligation and we have a responsibility right now, okay? Because at the end of the day, no one else is going to come to save us, okay? It's only us who can do that. And we're not defenseless anymore, okay? We have platforms and we have voices and we have a state and we have the amazing IDF, and we have to utilize what we have, okay? People can't stand that we are not defenseless anymore. People can't stand where we're at. So that must be utilized. And to me, this is a responsibility, and I care for these people. I mean, especially after being in Israel in June as well, and meeting with so many soldiers and hearing their October 7th stories, the friends I've made. I'll never forget one of my friends, Maytal. She told me about her October 7th story. One of the soldiers I met on my trip in Birthright in Israel. And I truly felt connected to all of these people, and I really, really, really want to help, and I want to go into international law and international human rights law, and I would hopefully one day want to litigate for Israel and defend Israel and be a point of consultation for geopolitical matters and international legal principles to show the world that Israel is generally in line with international law, and we need to place the onus on Iran and on its proxies and on the actual people who are completely breaking that.
Yeah. So when the article came out on Sunday, you read it already, but I think you thought Linda Sadaka did a great job.
Linda, oh my gosh, I have so much to say about this woman. She is amazing. She had written this, and thank you also, I think Michael edited it.
Yes.
But Linda has worked with me for so long. She has been extremely patient. Not only is she extremely intelligent, but she's gorgeous. We met up a few weeks ago, and she truly cares. And not only does she truly care about her job, but she truly cares about Judaism. She was talking to me about it and trying to encourage like me and others to speak to Hashem and to do all these different things. And she really is one of the most amazing people I've ever met. And I know that like she's always going to be in my life because we have this connection. So I'm really grateful that I got to meet her and like work with her, and everyone else should. And shout out to Idan, who actually introduced me to Linda. He's a content creator, for Israel as well on Instagram. He's awesome.
Oh, he did?
So he introduced me to Linda.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So thanks to him as well, I got to actually
she was
meet her.
with me in Bedminster a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Jewish Voices for Trump. So I met her. Mm-hmm. She's a lovely girl, yes. I like her. In fact, tomorrow, they're doing that same exact event. I've been invited again in Washington, D.C. with Adelson's wife. He's gone, Sheldon. So this is it. This is your last couple of days here. You've been home, it feels like, for 5 years. I know. Honest, Dave.
I know.
You've been home. It's like 6 months, right, Abe? Like 6 months?
It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's going to be different without you in the house.
Of
and
course.
sad, obviously, because we're a team of four.
You're not going to have the main character anymore.
Right. Right.
I'm the main character of the household.
But I'll see you in Israel on October 7th.
I will see you.
And you'll be home for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then before you know
and Hanukkah.
And then before you know it, Ave, it's done. That's it.
I know.
That's it. So, as we wrap up this great conversation, when it's done, okay, and you're funny because you told me a couple of days ago, New York is my home. It's my city. I love New York. And you go, I'm going to live in Israel. So,
okay. Ideally, and I cannot emphasize this enough.
Right.
I would love to work for a firm, like initially off the bat, that has ties to both New York and Israel, bases in both places, so that I have the ability to travel. And that's not a crazy thing, because there are tons of firms and places in New York that actually are both based in New York and Israel because of the large Jewish population here and Israeli population.
You do realize that every attorney in this city, every major attorney in this city loves your daddy, loves me. So when you graduate and you pass the bar, getting a job ain't going to be tough. You can work in New York, you can work in Israel, London, Paris, wherever you want. But I got news for you.
What?
You're living here.
Oh.
You want to go once in a while to that remote office in Tel Aviv? God bless you. Or California, but you're living here. Because you know this. You talk a big game, but you can't be away from mommy all that time.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I must say, like, since being home, I've gotten so, like, attached to my parents. It's,
it's
truly.
Horrible, right? It's horrible.
No, I love it, actually. Like, I'm gonna miss my dad randomly, like, bursting into song or, like, kissing that poster of Trump or
I love that.
Dancing randomly or, like, in the house.
Yeah. And we have a good time in the house.
No, we do.
Yeah,
we do, yeah.
Time. Well, we're all very, very proud of you, Mommy and I and Gabriel and a lot of New York. My phone is blowing up here. I swear to God. I have about 100 messages here just now.
Awesome. But I just want everyone to know, just like really quickly, I need to emphasize this. If you have a child or if you are a person who has been discriminated against or targeted against for being a proud Jewish Zionist, continue to stand up, okay? Because you have a huge support system. I realized I wasn't alone after this article came out and after all of this happened. And the more that we speak out and the more proud we are and the stronger we are, the better the diaspora will be for Jews and the stronger we'll come out and we will win. Okay. I'm Israel Chai.
I'm going to repeat what Lizzie Savetsky said to me and on social media and to you yesterday. And you're my daughter, so it's a bit biased, but this is how heroes are born. Congratulations, Ava Caroline. You're a hero.
Thank you. Love you.
Let's take a break.
Every time.
As we lose the arguments in a cable car, hanging above as the canyon comes between. Everyone knows I'm in over my head. 8 seconds left in overtime. She's on your mind. She's on your mind.
Sid and Friends in the Morning.
77 WABC.
Well, we all have a face that we hide away forever, and we take them out and show ourselves when everyone has gone. Some are satin, some are steel, some are silk and some are leather. They're the faces of the stranger, but we love to try.
Oh, the title track of the great album, The Stranger. What a great album. Only the Good Die Young, Vienna, Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, all of them on this one. Billy Joel will be on Long Island, Nassau Coliseum today for my guy, President Donald Trump. Before I get the king who runs Nassau County, so many nice messages here from Simon Glansberg to Gene, my driver, to Jamie Cerna, Marty Feeney, Michael Rappaport. They go on and on. Arnie, I do want to read this one. Joe Nunziata. God spent a little extra time with that kid. I love that one, Nuns. That's a good one. And then Dory Lewak, my friend who writes for the New York Post. What a fighter you and Danielle raised. Just wow. Love hearing her. Pete King is one of the two best politicians in my lifetime, and I'm almost 58. Rudy Giuliani and Pete King, that's it. Everybody else lines up a distant second. Great congressman, Homeland Security. But I got to tell you, Peter, Danielle and I are meeting Bruce Blakeman today. I hear all these names, and I know you like Trump, and you're Nassau County. You got to be there, yes?
No, here's the story. Unfortunately, I can't be, and I'll tell you why. Months ago, I accepted the request to get an award tonight. I'm an honoree at the Plaza Hotel by a law enforcement police organization. The guy who heads it up was one of the heads of Rudy's security detail during 9/11. I got to know him. They made this award. I agreed to accept it, and they sold more than 400 tickets for night. In fact, George is going to be there too. So there's no way I could get out of that. Believe me, I've been meeting with Bruce and Joe Cairo for the last several weeks working on this. It's going to be a great event tonight. Pat Ryder is ready to go. He has everything ready. No, I will not be there. I wish I were. But again, I owe it to these guys. These are guys from 9/11 who I met, and I'm an honoree, and I just couldn't, leave them empty at the Plaza Hotel tonight. So that's where we're going to be. I was trying to find some way to make it work, but I just couldn't. That event starts at 7. I have to be there at 5:30. The Trump event starts at 7. By the way, the crowd.
No, actually, it starts at 5. It starts at 5. He goes on at 7. We're actually, we're leaving with Bruce at 2:30. But I tell you, for folks that don't know, Pete, I've been to Peter's house, Pete and Rosemary. First of all, I have a lovely home, lovely. And there's a lot of Trump stuff in your house, pictures of you and Trump. And, when Officer Diller was murdered.
Right.
And Trump came in to spend time with Stephanie while, Biden was hanging out with Obama and Clinton, raising really a minuscule amount of money compared to what Trump raised the week after. You were there for that. You were there when Trump came into town, and you saw the president that day, yes?
Oh, I did. No, we had a very nice talk. I tell you, that's where you see up close. There were no cameras inside. There's nothing inside. He could not have been more gracious and more respectable and respectful, I should say, to people he was that day. I mean, young kids coming up to him, people coming up to him in the funeral home, treating him with respect. And he could not have been more, again, friendly to them in a very dignified way. Never showed any, like he was in a hurry or he was a big shot. In fact, if you walked in, you would think he was just one of the people from Espinal Park. That's how well he fit in. And he says, listen, I'm supporting him 100%. I told you that. I would love to be there tonight, believe me. And I tell you, Bruce and Joe Cairo, they're under a lot of stress because everyone wants to be there. There's going to be probably thousands and thousands of people outside.
Yep.
Beside the 15,000 that are inside.
Yes.
I know they're setting up back the screens and everything else, and they're going to have food trucks there. But it's going to be again a wonderful event. And he will. I don't have to tell Donald Trump this, but he will have incredible support there in Nassau County, Suffolk County, actually, the adjoining areas, but especially, from Nassau and Suffolk. Also, I can just say one thing, a sad note, a good friend of mine, Nelson DeMel, died yesterday. He's a great guy, a great patriot. And he was one of us. Great guy, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Copies. Yeah, that was just yesterday.
Oh.
In fact, Rosemary and I were supposed to have dinner with him. But anyway, there you go. Great guy, great American.
Yeah.
And tonight, I just hope all of Nassau and Long Island, everybody celebrates Donald Trump's coming to Nassau. It says a lot because New York is not number one on the list of states he can win, but he has a very close relationship with Bruce Blakeman and Joe Cairo.
Yes, he does. No, he does. He loves those guys. Those guys love him. And I can't wait to see. It's funny. I live in Queens. I live in Bell Harbor, but I think it's fair to say that I do more stuff on the outside with you, Pete, in your county than anybody else. So like Danielle says to me today, she goes, hey, is Ben going to be there tonight? I go, of course Ben's going to be there tonight. And all these other, the ladies, Leah and this, because, whether we're in Milwaukee at the RNC or, you took us for dinner all the time, whether we're going to your buddy's Italian restaurant or we're even, last time we had that great steak dinner celebrating all the police officials and all those folks in your town. I think I probably do more stuff in Nassau County than any place else.
Yeah, I'm not always happy about that. I had dinner with Bruce on Sunday night, and who's with him? Your friend Lee. You call her Leah. Her name is Lee. Right. I said, Lee, how you doing? How's Sid? I mean, I am fed up with all this. I really am. And then with Mozzie, she'd be able to even talk to you.
Oh, Mozzie. Oh, forget it.
Rosenberg,
yeah. She goes, Mozzie texts me,
fact,
please
tell me. We go over to police headquarters. I run into Lee, and all she talks about is you.
Oh, she's great.
Maureen talks about you. Because Fitton talks about you.
They're all great.
I was out with Melissa last night. Some guy comes over the table, says to me, "Oh, I love to hear you on with Sid." And Melissa, you're the one they talk about. So I mean, this is what I can put up with. I got my own life. By the way, on a serious note, listening to Ava, one of the nights I will always remember is the night that we were in Gargiulo's with Danielle and Gabe and Ava. What a wonderful night. She's a great storyteller. I mean, some of the stories she was telling about your mother growing up, she's phenomenal. What a sense of humor she has. Great.
That was a great night. That was a great night. That was 3 years ago with Melissa. Then the year after that, Danielle and Ava didn't go, but Gabriel came, and your grandson Jack was there, who's a lovely, lovely kid.
Right, yeah.
And then, talking about Melissa, I finally met Lance last week. What a great guy he is.
Yeah, he is a terrific guy. In fact, I was at Lancaster the other night. No, he's a terrific guy, absolutely great guy.
So let me get to some of the stuff going on Long Island. I spoke about this with Bruce Blakeman yesterday, and he had the right answer. You know, I got a friend, his name, Mike McMancuso, who's working with us at the band. So his wife, Lisa, loves us, listens every day. She lives over there by Hofstra. Her kids go to school by Hofstra. And she was telling me that 4 or 5 consecutive days, Pete, they had to send the kids home because of bomb threats. And Bruce said, it's true. We are getting them, and a lot of them are from overseas. You know, some guy sitting in a basement, but he goes, we got to take it seriously because if that 1% happens to be real, we don't want to see dead kids in Nassau County. But that's become a big issue for you guys.
No, it has. And these overseas apps, I mean, I wasn't even aware of them until the whole thing in Butler, Pennsylvania. But there's been, and I don't want to go into details, any number of those that are being checked out in Nassau County. Apparently they're easy to get, and some of these high school kids and wackos, sitting in the basement know how to do it, and it's very hard for the cops to track it down. So, no, but they take them very seriously. Listen, Pat Ryan is crazy. He takes everything seriously. Never getting Pat's away when there's a case going on. He's everywhere. Bruce is with him. Pat is so focused on this rally. And then on Sunday, after that, he has the Prime Minister of India coming out, and there's actually death threats on the social media calling for his death at Nassau Coliseum.
Wow.
They have all this going on. And and besides, the ordinary events that go on anyway, the outdoor concerts that Bruce sponsors at Eisenhower Park. But right now, the focus is on tonight at the Coliseum. Crowd is going to be enormous and immense. And I've bumped into any number of people who stop me on the street saying how they're going tonight.
Everyone's going. Yeah, everybody's going.
It's going to be tremendous.
Yeah, and I want people to know this.
There, believe me.
That many years ago, Lou was a big Islander fan. Okay, he's the one guy. And we know, they had the great run. It was 1,000 years ago. The great run. Bossy tried to great. They won 4 cups. They are certainly one of the greatest teams in the history of sport. No one can argue that. It was a long time ago, but they were. But people may not know this. But before the Islanders won all those cups, and they were champs, not as big as a champ as Trump is tonight, but they were champs. Before the Islanders won those Stanley Cups, Pete King, you were the guy that signed the lease for the Nassau Coliseum.
Yeah, my signature is one of the ones on there. I was a deputy county attorney, and I had to approve the form of the lease. So you have all the name, the county executive, the owner of the Islanders, it was Roy Bowe then, and others. And then you see form approved, Peter T. King, deputy county attorney.
Cool.
So, yeah.
So
by the way,
cool.
those Islander guys, and I'm not saying I know all these sports heroes all up, but I got to meet Clark Gillies, Bobby Knife. These are great guys. And
he died. He's gone. Yeah, he died.
No, I saw Gillies the night the Islanders opened at UBS. He looked great. I thought he was going to live to be 1,000, and he looked. And then he died, just 2 or 3 months later. So no, they're great people, great in the community. I hope the Islanders can make it. Islanders Rangers, I tell you, they had some great games back in those days.
Oh yeah.
Right now though, it looks. You and Tacopina, I guess you're going to push the Rangers into the Stanley Cup.
I don't know. No. Tacopina and Pete Morgan. I'm always trying to calm those guys down, and I've been right because I keep telling them, guys, we're not good enough. It's one thing to be good during the regular season, but the real champs are your guys: Posse, Trottier, Gillies, Nystrom, Billy Smith, Denny Potvin. Those guys, they won it when it mattered, which was the second season. I want to get to this Rex Heuermann story because I know it's Nassau and Sub because he killed in one county and buried the bodies in another. But now they find this Asian doe last week. And it turns out, I guess, Ray Tierney believes that this guy was a man, but he dressed as a woman and was a sex worker. Appears to be a victim, but they're not sure if it's attached to Rex Heuermann, which is a little scary because now you got to start to think how many people are killing people out there. But what about this latest development?
I say you got to give Ray Tierney credit. He's really opened this up. He stayed on it. I mean, again, the prior commissioner and DA, they've done a good job. But Ray Tierney has really gone into this, and it's important not just to bring people to justice. That's really important too, but also to renew people's faith in law enforcement and to show that crime is not going to go unpunished. And on this one, they get the DNA test and tracking it to a person from probably South China. It's a South China DNA, is the ancestry. Appears to be it's transvestite or transgender.
Yeah.
But Ray is really in it. Ray Tierney, he is so committed on this, and I hope they find whatever they can. I hope it's Rex Uriman only because I'm like you. I don't want to think there's 2 or 3 other people out there killing people and slicing them up.
Yeah. Last 60 seconds. So Danielle and I went to this beautiful party, the 125th birthday party for Nassau County. I don't think you were you there? Oh, you were there.
No, I was with my daughter in Charlotte.
That's right.
There,
and,
That's
right. You weren't there. Right.
That was a great event, though. I know that.
Oh, it was beautiful. We had a great table.
Stern, I know.
Yeah, so Blakeman, this son of a bitch, he does like a 3-minute video on Howard Stern. I'm sitting there with Bill O'Reilly going, what are you, nuts? You can't play a Howard Stern. Now, I know Howard lived in Nassau County, and I didn't, but I'm kind of an honorary Nassau County guy. So now that Stern came out yesterday, this backstabbing lowlife weasel, and called every Trump supporter, including me, no good. I have no respect for you guys. You're stupid people, all this stuff. Can I expect you to call Bruce and please revoke anything Bruce Blakeman did for Howard Stern in Nassau County, yes?
I will be on the phone with Bruce. I'll track him down, and I'll tell your friend Leah to tell him she's in the car. Yeah. She's not going to drive him where he wants to go.
That's it.
And he takes it away.
She's got a big gun. She's got a gun. She's got a gun, Pete.
Everybody's on your side. Come on, Bruce. Wake up, Bruce Blakeman. No, Bruce, by the way, loves you.
I love him, too.
No matter what I tell him about you, he still loves you.
No, I love him, too. We're actually traveling. Danielle and I are going with Bruce today to the big event. So congratulations on your award tonight. Well deserved. I'm sorry I'm not going to see you, but this is great. So congratulations. And we love you, and we'll do it again next week, Pete. Thank you so much.
Okay, and let's go Mets.
Let's go. Hey, Pete, how about the Mets? Are you right?
Phenomenal. They're great. My God.
I know.
I can't believe it.
They don't lose the last 4 months. The Mets, to Pete King's point, now 2 games up on the Atlanta Braves and now tied for the second wild card spot.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Here we go. Great job, Pete King. Thank you. Enjoy tonight. Thank you.
The man, the great Congressman Peter King. Will take a short break. Big fourth and final hour still to come. He is speed painting like he did in Wildwood, New Jersey a couple of months back. Tonight at Nassau Coliseum, my dear friend, the relentless patriot. Oh, the great Scott LoBaido. He's going to be here. Keep it right here.
Someone else, you should know by now. You believe yourself. One side.
Sid and Friends in the morning.
77 WABC.
I want Trump to be Trump. The authentic Trump is the guy that's won 3 consecutive primaries, is going to win 3 consecutive elections. When he has to be nice, he's nice. When he doesn't have to be, he's not. Enough with this nice nonsense, no?
Well, that was a great description. Do you mind if I just plagiarize from you? Do you mind? I can use those same words.
Thank you.
Because I'll tell you what, that was a very good description. Look, I want to be nice, and I'm a person that is nice. I have a lot of friends like you, but I want to be a nice person. They're trying to put me in prison. These are people, these are animals we're dealing with. These are horrible people.
Got news for you. Oh, it's a good song, Lou. Really good song. My friend Trump there. Not just trying to put him in prison, they're trying to kill him. Now, I don't know who they is, or I don't know. I have a group of psycho friends that believe that, like Beningo yesterday, Iran is in bed with the FBI and the CIA and the Secret Service, and then I've got other psycho friends who think just the Secret Service wants him dead. And then I've got what I think are rational people, like me, Judge Janine, who don't rule out anything, but at this point, until further notice, we have to chalk it up to ineptitude. And for people who say it's almost impossible for them to be that inept, no, that's not true. It's not. But there's a lot of questions. So they're trying to put him in prison. They're trying to kill him. And you get like Biden and Harris with these really insincere phone calls. Yeah, I was checking on him, see how he was doing. Go F yourself. Who do you think you're kidding? Who do you think you're talking to? It's okay. You hate him, we hate you. That's fine. I know. Wish it wasn't like that. Hard to get stuff done when everybody hates each other. And ideally, in a nice little political world, maybe you get Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan and people can work together. I get all that. Be great. We are so past that. We're past it. And it's not because both parties. I'm so tired of both parties. Oh, there's some psychos on the right, 100%. Oh, there's some people on the right I can't stand. Of course, Mitt Romney, what are you kidding me? But in comparison, the number of bad people that don't care about Jews and Americans and all of you on the left. It's not even close. Stop at the both parties. Stop it. Stop it. Shut up. It's the left. These are crazy people. They are. I was never like this, I was normal at one point.
Before I met you, I guess, because...
Yeah, but when I met you, I was abnormal because I was drinking a lot and yelling about sports.
Okay, I didn't.
But I didn't care about this stuff.
Right, I know. At the moment, I didn't trace it to anything in particular. I just know, this is...
maybe it was the wrong word. Fine, Lou.
This is a crazy person.
Okay, fine, okay.
But I always said you were excellent on the air.
You did say that.
I always said that.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
It's like saying Jeffrey Dahmer was smart. Well, Ted Bundy was smart.
Well, he was. He created his own diet, so...
I got it. He did create his own diet.
Yeah. It seems like something's going to happen to you any second here. Are you okay in there?
No, I'm choking to death.
All right. Just so you can't say later, no, I'm choking and nobody knows.
Well, say something. It's like the Iron Man. Remember, he would be like, I'm choking. Say something, Sid.
Yeah, but what was anybody going to do?
I don't know.
Grab 8 oxygen tanks? And
I heard that cut, and he was saying, Sid, I'm a nice person. They're trying to put me in prison. Now they tried to kill him twice. Forget about prison. I tried to kill him. So excuse me for not having the love and the patience and giving them the benefit of the doubt. Oh, the sincere Kamala Harris. Please, give me a break. What a horrible person. I mean, just a horrible, horrible person. And everybody around her, from her douchebag, crappy Jew husband to her pro-murderous stepdaughter. I mean, they're just the worst people God ever created. All of them. So today, all the great patriots, led by the relentless patriot, the very handsome Scott LoBaido, who's going to speed paint again. He should really bring me up on stage. That's my in right there. I just realized it. Well, they're having all these, boring politicians speak again. God bless them all. They're all my friends, but they're boring. LoBaido should paint and then say, Sid Rosenberg, come up on stage and... Right?
That could work.
Well, of course. Let me tell you something.
Of course.
I will bring the house down. They'll go nuts. I mean, again, not to pick on Mike, because I love Mike. He's coming on the show tomorrow, but who do you think gets more applause on stage today, Mike LePetri or Sid Rosenberg? We've been talking about this.
Maybe you should just rush the stage when he's speaking.
No, because that'll be embarrassing, because they'll arrest me at that point. Even Boris Epstein will try to arrest me, I would think. I don't know.
As you're going up there, you get one of those T-shirt guns and you fire the Sazoo shirts into the crowd. As you're running up there, waving and choom, choom, choom.
I don't need to speak. It's fine. I don't need to speak. Speak 4 hours a day.
Don't even try.
No, I don't care. No, I really don't.
Yes, you do.
Oh, you are so insulted that they have not asked you.
No. This is shtick. This is radio shtick. I speak 4 hours a day to millions and millions of people. They love me. I can't walk to the train now without getting stopped 100 times.
Yeah.
Think I care if I speak at the Nassau County?
Yes. Because there'd be nothing better than getting in front of 16,000 people.
So you're saying if they came up to you at an hour before when you're there,
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's like you. They invite you to a party the day before the party. Now you're not going, right?
Oh, that's good.
Same thing. You're not going to go an hour before the damn thing and all of a sudden no, you just realized that I'm the biggest voice in New York? No, you just figured that out?
You're comparing those two events to
100%.
Is that what you're really doing?
I'm not going up there.
Okay.
No.
Okay,
You should have placed this call last week. You're not going to do that.
You have a good point with that. True. Okay. But there's no way you would say no. They came up to you in Nassau Coliseum. You're in the VIP section.
This is so disappointing.
No.
My own people, my own guys. I go to war with you guys every day. You talk about me like I'm some type of, like I'm so shallow.
I'm saying you should be up there. I'm agreeing with you.
And you're telling me if they told me an hour before that, I'm telling you I'd say no, I wouldn't do it?
I'm predicting you would not say no.
Right.
Yeah.
5 seconds before.
Are you kidding? Like, Sid, we got a free 15 minutes here after Blakeman talks or something. Why don't you come up here and get the crowd going?
Yeah,
right
wake up the
before
crowd.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing it.
You'd say, what would you say? What would your words be? I'm really sorry, but I don't want to leave my wife and my kids, and I just gotta just.
Fine.
I can't. I'd love to see what your excuse would be. That's
I
what
guess I would probably say,
get me up there.
thank you. Here I come.
With me, and I'm getting real shot down, and I'm feeling me. No more Mr. Nice Guy. No more Mr. Clean. No more Mr. Nice Guy. They say he's sick, he's obscene.
This is Sid and Friends in the morning.
77 WABC.
Let's get right to it. Oh, by the way, F. Howard Stern. F. Howard Stern. In your ass, Stern. Scott LoBaido, the relentless patriot, is one of the great Americans ever. You got to see that movie. It's going to stream soon. The Relentless Patriot, all about my friend Scott here. He's a wonderful artist, and he's been given this amazing honor. He does these speed paintings. I've got one lithograph in my house, the Fight Trump one from him, which is amazing. He did it in Wildwood. He's going to do it tonight at the Nassau Coliseum. What a great honor, Scott, for a great guy. Congratulations.
Thanks, brother. I just heard you earlier. Please don't storm the stage while I'm performing and ruin my gig, bro. Listen, you know, I'm a good speaker, too. And if they let me talk also, I would bring the house down because me and you are New Yorkers.
That's right.
Eventually, me and you need to get on this stage before this election, and we'll get there. I'm telling you.
Well, we're running out of time here. Scott, we're running out of time. I mean, why can't you just talk after the painting is finished? They won't let you do that?
No, I already tried. I tried it last time. They were like, absolutely not. The mics won't even be on. So I'm like, okay, let me not Let me not screw this up.
Right.
Let me not screw this up. I'm lucky to be on stage painting. You know, this is my dream. This is what I do. So it's going to be tremendous. Where do you see what I unveil?
Yeah, I can't wait. Because I know the Wildwood one, you did the Trump Rocky one. Now, since then, of course, you've done Trump fight since the first assassination attempt. Then you did this unbelievable painting of Kamala with the fire shooting behind her and the blood and all that great stuff. So I have no idea where you're going tonight. This will be new, though, yes?
Yes. I'm also working on a portrait of somebody you spoke to. You sent me a little clip of it. Hold on a second. It's this washed-up little old angry lady. What's her name? Oh, Howard Stern. Yeah. This little old angry, washed-up, jealous lady, because there's a prettier girl in town, okay, should quit her job and go work on The View with the rest of those washed up, haggy, little old, rickety-crotched ladies that hate themselves. What a piece of garbage, man. What a piece of garbage. Shut the hell up, Howard. You're a bum. You're nothing. You're nothing.
Well said.
Dead.
70. He called out 70 million Americans. He called out Scott LoBaido. He called out Sid Rosenberg. He called out all those people in the parking lot right now with this show on, right now with their American flags and Trump flags and trucks waiting for this big show later on tonight. And boy, Scott, you talk about timing. I mean, here we were in Milwaukee at the RNC right after they shot him. They did shoot him. This time, thank God, he didn't get shot. But now we're still just 3 days removed from a second assassination attempt. I couldn't think of a better time for Long Island, for New York, for our great patriots here in our state to welcome Donald Trump to his city.
Oh, man, dude, I got here this morning because I had to get my equipment in to go through security check and everything. And the line is, people were here all night. You got to see. And, you know, I can't believe the fan base that I've grown through all these years. I couldn't even get through the crowd. People were storming my truck, taking pictures with me.
I believe it.
Such a good feeling because these are, you know, again, Sid, we're not celebrities. When people treat me like a celebrity, I hate it. I'm just a regular jackass from Staten Island with a set of balls and a little talent that God gave me. And it's just like, these are our people, man. These patriots, these are the working people. They took the day off during the week, 2 days to wait here to see the greatest president since George Washington.
I think even better than George Washington. And, with you, and you're very humble. And just so folks so you know this, like I sometimes act humble on the air, but I'm not humble. This is really Scott. He's a humble guy. First of all, you have a little talent. You're a huge talent. Your artists are great. And look, you're a guy that goes across the country, basically on foot, to paint American flags. They made a movie about you, Scott, not because they like you, not because you're cute, because you are a patriot. So while your humility is somewhat nice, the truth is you're deserving of all of this. People love you because you love this country. And that's where the whole left has deserted us.
Yeah. You know what? If I got time, I really want to reach out to the other side. You know, everybody's talking about the rhetoric is too much on both sides. No, it ain't both sides. It's one-sided, and we all know that. Liberals aren't liberals anymore. They're fascist, violent people. But I honestly want to – here's my olive branch. Here's my olive branch to the Democrats. And I'm trying to be specific, too, here. The black community. For 70 years, you're voting for the same Democrats that have promised you everything. And here they are, right in your face, black community in the inner cities, and they're handing it to the illegal aliens. Everything they promised you, and they're doing it not behind closed doors. They're doing it in your face. And you Jews out there that are Democrats, how can you vote for a Democrat at this point in the game? They're telling you to your face they're going back to the Hitler days. They're right in your face. And the gay community. How are you? Donald Trump, look at the pictures of Donald Trump before he was president. He's a New Yorker. He is with gay people, gay athletes, gay entertainers, black entertainers. You're pissed off because I'm pissed off that you're going to have a drag queen or naked dudes with their shit hanging out at a parade in front of children, and we got a problem with that? You got a problem with Donald Trump? Oh, you shouldn't. He's not going to throw you in the chambers like the liberals are telling you. And women, ladies, listen to me. These illegal alien young men, horny young men, are raping and murdering our young, ready, ladies? Women. And the women's rights movement, nothing. You all care about this abortion issue. All due respect, the abortion issue is going to be around till the end of humankind. It'll always be a battle. This is not the battle right now. The battle is saving everything in your life. Ladies, got to get on board. Give this man 4 years. All of you I just mentioned. 4 effing years. That's all you have to give us. We promise you, we'll all live in harmony again. That's a guarantee.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up the last 2.5 minutes. I'm going to send it to the Trump team. And instead of some old, boring politician, who's a friend of mine probably, but I've heard speak 100 times, I'm going to give them that, what you just did, which was brilliant, and say, play this inside the Nassau Coliseum. And if he can't speak, just put his picture up. How about that?
That's exactly what I want to say. I'm going to try. I'm still going to try. Even like you're going to when you get here. You're going to beg everybody you can.
Beg everybody. Yeah.
Let me speak.
No, but you should. I mean, what you said just now, and I got to wrap this up, but it was so on the money. All these groups, I mean, blacks are going to vote for her because she's black. I got to tell you, I say this all the time. I'm not sure every American should be allowed to vote. I mean that. I hate to say it because our kids are dying all over the world for that freedom. I understand that. But when people start voting because I'm black, she's black, I'm a woman, she's a woman, I'm gay, no good. No good. I almost think you got to pass a test. You know what I mean? I want black people. Listen, do they realize that when Trump was president, black people did better in the job market than at any time? I don't care what John Legend says, that jackass. They should know that or they shouldn't be allowed to vote.
John Legend, another penis head, another useless penis head. What has he got? One song? He did one song? Please. Look, if an Italian in my neighborhood was running for president, there's never been an Italian president. You think I'm going to be like, yeah, he's going to take? I don't care if it was my brother. No, I want somebody. I don't care if it's Kamala or a two-headed lesbian or I don't care. If you are for America, you got my vote over and over again. That's it. Period. This is America. I don't care who you are, who you sleep with, who you pray to, what color you are. Get the shit done.
I think as we wrap this up, your next painting should be a two-headed lesbian. Can you paint that?
I'd rather spend the night with one.
LoBaido, you're a G. I can't wait to see you later. Give you a big hug and a kiss. And I can't wait to watch you do your thing live. I'm actually really excited about watching you speed paint. You are the relentless patriot. You're the great American. You're my buddy, and I love you. Great job as always. Thank you, Scott.
You're the king, brother. Love you. See you later.
Love you, too. I'm Scott LoBaido. How about that? Was that great? Come on. We'll take a short break. I love Scott on every Wednesday. We'll take a short break. We got more to do. I got to tell you, the markets are still up and down, very inconsistent. I know a lot of folks that they're not making money these days, and they bet the Eagles on Monday night. So if you really want to make some money, the answer is gold. And we'll talk to my dear friend Brandon Thor. He's coming up.